Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is a Friday afternoon, June 19th, 2025, and this stream may turn out to be a mistake. I think the only way we'll find out is by starting, because for those who've been, I guess, plugged in some other channels, I've kind of been away this last week. Last weekend was my birthday. We had some family come over. Unfortunately, I got sick. Yeah, so I haven't really had a voice for the last couple days. I probably sound a bit strange. I get a sore throat pretty commonly, which sucks because a lot of what I do is talking. So it's a bit awkward, but we are back today. We promised we're going to try and take it easy. So today is not going to be the longest stream, and we'll see how things hold up. I got coffee, I got tea, I got water. But this is like the most I've talked in the last like 3 days already. So we'll see how it holds up. We've been having to cancel a whole bunch of streams this weekend. I'm just like getting antsy. I'm bored. I like doing this sort of stuff. So we'll see how we hold on. Hopefully you've been well. We're back today. We're playing Spider-Man. I apologize. We've been playing Protection, I think like 4 or 5 streams a week or in a row, excuse me. That will change on Sunday, assuming there'll be a Sunday stream, which we're going to be changing gears for sure. But I think we had some comments. We had a comment in one of the last stream about like some of the older characters from the core box. So we're going to be revisiting Spider-Man, who is a really strong character in the core box, as much as his stat line doesn't really line up with what I think Spider-Man is as a hero, like in terms of the, the lore. But I have enjoyed my playtime with Spider-Man. I don't think I've played too much Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man also has like some pretty pronounced weaknesses. And I think there's some conversation going on right now about some of the newer heroes coming out, whether they have pronounced weaknesses or not. But Spider-Man definitely has pronounced weaknesses. And I'll say that this build itself doesn't go out of the way to address those pronounced weaknesses, but you definitely should. And so together, with an entirely untested deck, we'll figure out whether these weaknesses catch up with us or not. I trust you've been well. Again, apologies if I have to mute the mic to cough or sneeze or do all the sort of gross stuff that I will be doing today. But we'll get through it. I mean, feeling better every day. Again, this might be a huge mistake. We'll find out. If we get through one game and my voice feels like way worse from it, we'll just like call it there and then come back on Sunday, hopefully. Hey, Crash Space. Patrolmas Diner returns. How's it going, Lucy? Thanks again for checking in. It's been a quiet week here. My partner's off to a convention, so it's just me and Anago for the last, like, it's been a day. It'll be a couple more days. So not only am I at home alone, and it's also like dreary outside, but I can't go outside because I don't feel great. It's like I've been just rotting on the couch, really. It's not been great. Hey, friend, back at again with another live stream. Love Spidey with Taunt. You know it. We definitely got some Taunt in here. Taunt is so fun in Spider-Man because functionally you draw 4 cards, and that is just really good text. I think we're going to see, we saw 2 more Luke Cage cards spoiled in the last week, which we'll talk about again after game 1. But just the ability, any character that can play Taunt really well is usually one of my favorite characters. It's just like such a fun card. Rest up, Andre. Thank you, Lucy. This might be a mistake. We'll find out together. I hope you do feel better soon. Thank you, Donovan. Sending positive vibes. Thanks so much. Spidey Protection is one of my all-time favorites. Hey, Katurian, how's it going? So let's talk about the deck really quickly. But I think for those who enjoy Spidey Protection, maybe you can give me a little bit of a hint. Because I think there's 2 big problems with Spider-Man when you play solo Spider-Man. And again, the hero kit, some of the older heroes have cards in their kit that just aren't great compared to modern card design. I do think Spider-Man actually is very much worth talking about because Spider-Man has one of the like gold standard cards when it comes to action efficiency or like card efficiency in this game. But there's also a lot of cards that like see next to no play. Now, this is Spider-Man. He's a 1/2/3. He has 10 health, which is not bad. He doesn't have the Web Warrior trait, which I think is like a pretty big pain point, and a lot of people either just like pretend that he does. They technically printed a card that is an upgrade you can attach to a Spider character that gives it the Web Warrior card, as long as the character has Spider in their name. So you can make Spider-Man a Web Warrior, you can make Jessica Drew a Web Warrior. It's up to you to play with that rule or not. Today, we're just going to be straight Avenger, as much as I don't always love playing Web Warriors on stream. Because like more often than not, the Web Warrior cards overpower your heroes cards. Because like the Web Warrior allies are already so good, and they just have like such a robust engine. And then generally those cards are just better than the Spider-Man cards or whatever Web Warrior you're playing. So we're not playing any Web Warrior support today, but you can figure out how you want to play it if you want to play it. Now we have a 1/2/3 stat line, and again, there's 2 big problems if you ask me when it comes to Spider-Man. First problem is thwarting. And while we've seen a lot of heroes that have a 1/2/3 stat line, usually their kit has a bit of thwarting. Spider-Man's kit uniquely has no thwarting event. That's not super common. That doesn't mean he doesn't have thwarting cards, but he doesn't have any way to thwart proactively on an empty board state, which is like really, really strange. I don't think of Spider-Man as the cleverest guy. In fact, he is a genius in Alter Ego, but the inability to thwart is a huge downside, particularly also playing solo Protection, because Protection, again, doesn't have a lot of ways to thwart. So kind of rough. We'll figure out how we can deal with that. My guess guess is our build doesn't have that many ways to deal with it. Generally in protection, you can solve that by playing allies, and there's like 1 or 2 protection cards that can thwart. But that's usually an issue when you play solo protection. So that's not going to be any different here with Spider-Man. Now we have 2 attack and 3 defense, and 2 attack is actually the other big problem with this deck, is that Spider-Man doesn't have any way to deal with minions. It's really funny because Green Goblin seems to be like the most thematic matchup you could play, and Green Goblin's really good at presenting 3 or 4 health minions constantly, and Spider-Man's really bad at clearing minions, unless you splash cards into his deck. Because, and maybe we're putting the cart in front of the horse, we should talk about his Spider-Man Heroes text, is like these are the only cards that we have in our deck that can do damage, and they do 8 damage, and they don't have overkill. And so having 3 cards that do 8 damage is still worth something. This is a really interesting card, as boring as it is. But we have no good way to knocking out 2, 3, 4, 5 health minions. It's only swinging web kick or nothing. On top of that, one of his thwart cards cares about defeating a minion. So like you have a problem attached to a problem. And that is something that's really hard to fix with protection. Protection is not very good at knocking out minions. Now, this is not an issue if you play like Justice, and then Justice, you can have some thwarting options, which can deal with problem 1. If you play leadership or aggression or any other aspect, really, I guess, you could deal with minions by playing allies that can knock out minions. But there's just like 2 big pronounced issues that I'm saying here at the front. It's not going to make Spider-Man not fun, but they're things that we have to keep in mind when we build the deck and when we play it. And I want to say that I think we've dealt with one of the issues, but probably not both. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and maybe we'll have to make some deck changes. Except for the no allies archetype for Taunt Spider-Man, yes, I think this deck actually really could want to play the no allies archetype, because blocking twice around is really, really good. Apologies, I can't pull up any of the like Ronin-esque cards that are coming up in the new set. These are Echoes cards in her protection deck. But that being said, allies are really good in Spider-Man because they solve a lot of your issues, which is like how to thwart, how to do damage. And so like I do think even the no our allies archetype wants to have some allies. It's also kind of awkward because Spider-Man for some reason has one of these like no consequential allies. Like Black Cat can attack forever, which actually might matter for some of the upcoming leadership cards. But yeah, in theory, like she's a bit awkward. She's also just like such a strange card because she wants to be on the table forever, but she has when played text. We'll talk about this, but like sometimes the cards from the original core set were like kind of all over the place in terms of the ideas, and I still think there's a lot to love here. It's just like some of them are weird, and I think we're gonna appreciate some of the eccentricity on these cards. All right, anyways, this is Spider-Man, 3 defense. That's good. 10 health, that's not bad. But the best thing here is our Spider Sense ability. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card. Now, this text is not super common. It says initiates an attack against you, which that is at the beginning of the attack step. So if the villain attacks you, you just draw a card right then, right there, before you have to commit to defending. Notably, too, anybody else on the table can defend for you, and you'll still get that card draw. So if we an attack gets initiated us and we chump block with an ally, which, like, of course you can do that with leadership or every aspect, honestly, you'll still get the card draw. Again, it's initiates an attack, not actually does the attack. So if a defender steps in the way, you still get your card draw. And that's just really good text. Every turn, if we're in hero mode, the villain, as long as we don't stun them, will be attacking us, or functionally a 6-card hand size. And you're going to be attacked regardless. You can still block with allies. And that's just like solid text. It's like maybe not the most exciting, but it's just card advantage. And in most card games, card advantage is really good. And this is no different. Now our alter ego, we have access to a good trait, which is Genius, as much as you lose the Genius as soon as you don the suit. And there's a couple cards you can play that interact, or sorry, 1 card you can play, 2 cards that you can play that interact with Genius. We're only playing 1 of them. Maybe that's wrong. We have 3 recovery. We have the same 10 hit points and 6 hand size. But as a scientist action, we can, or not even action, a resource, we can just generate a mental resource once per round. That functionally means that you start in 7 hand size on turn 1, which is quite good. I feel like a lot of the heroes, maybe this is not true, I feel like some of the heroes in the core set have really generous alter egos, and I'm glad they do, because jumping up and down is one of the most fun parts about this game, one of the most unique parts. And so you just have a real big incentive to jump down all the time if you can. We have a bunch of other reasons. I think we have one other good reason to jump down to alter ego, but this is like just really, really good quiet text. And maybe that's kind of how I describe Peter Parker, like good text. It's quiet text, but it is just good text. Compare this to some of the more elaborate characters. And again, by the time we hit the mutant wave, character designs got really, really elaborate, and I actually like those a lot. This is as simple as it gets, and it's meant to be your core set ID. It's meant to be one of the first identities you play. I think the learn to play deck is specifically Spider-Man if you like walk through the tutorial book, so it's like super straightforward, and there's something good to be said about that for sure. You were playing him wrong. Oh, Tony, yeah, he's super, super good. Anybody can get in the way. Allies can get in the way as long as the attack was initiated against you. The text on what you means is a bit confusing in this game, for sure it is. But you have to think of you here as the attack was initiated against a player, and then people can step in to deal with it, whether it's your cards or whether another person's cards. But you get the free card draw no matter what, and you get it at the best time possible, which is great. Are you excited about the new Spider-Man movie? Robert, I guess I am. I think I am. I haven't gone to the theaters to see a Spider-Man film or like a, I guess I had seen, we went to see Thunderbolts in theater with my partner after a couple of weeks it's been out. And like, I have been enjoying them. We've watched, I think we've caught up on all the Tom Holland ones. And like, I think it's going to also do some like Daredevil-esque stuff. It looks like those Shadowland ninjas are there, which I know nothing about. I don't know what the villain is. I watched the new trailer and I can't really tell what the villain is, besides like there's a Hulk in it. So like, yeah, I'm positively optimistic. I've really enjoyed the Spider-Man content. For what it's worth, I grew up on Toby, like on that Spider-Man. So I haven't watched all the Spider-Man films. I don't think I've watched Spider-Man 3 for what it's worth. But Spider-Man, like as my favorite hero as a kid, it was easily Spider-Man. I have a whole bunch of the essentials. So Spider-Man's always been like the soft spot for me for sure. Catching a Friday stream and it's Spidey, love this hero. Hey, Arkuro. I haven't played enough Spider-Man, and I know that's something I should fix because he is quietly very, very powerful. Now, this is Swinging Web Kick, and we have 3 of them in our deck, and this is a very important card when it comes to Marvel Champions. A lot of times people will say numbers like effective resources, or this is a 2 for 4, 3 for 8, or 4 for 8, something like that. And just so that we're on the same page, because a lot of times people don't ask about what this means, is that a lot of times when you come to evaluating the efficiency of a card, it's the cost of the card versus what the card does, right? The output. And Swinging Web Kick technically still is, as much as this card is like, what is it now, 5-6 years old, is the gold standard of this game. Swinging Web Kick costs 3, so you spend 3 resources. It costs a card itself, which costs a 4th resource because it is a card. I used to not love that math, and I've kind of come around on it. I wanted to make a video about how effective resources is silly, and we can maybe talk about that later if you want to, but it's not exactly. But this is 4 cards, right? 3 plus itself to do 8 damage to an enemy. That is the gold standard in this game. Spending a card to do 2 damage is good. That's all it is. If your deck was full of 0 cost cards that did 2 damage, you will win the game consistently. We've actually done that. We played Adam Warlock with 0 cost cards, and most of the 0 cost cards in this game do about 2 value, whether it's damage or thwart. Technically, they're not valued the same in this game. They're slightly off, but not worth caring about. That means this card is actually like really good. It's also a superpower, which is kind of nice because you could play Death Focus, which didn't exist exactly when Spider-Man came out. We're not, and I think unfortunately we have a couple superpowers in our deck, but some of them you cannot spend at action speed. They have to be as responses. So Death Focus doesn't fire against any of them. But I do want to say, while 4 for 8 is like the gold standard, I do think those numbers are a bit naive, and that's because inherently a 3 cost card is harder to play than a 1 cost card or 2 cost card. So I think a 4 for 8 should actually probably be a 4 for 9, if you ask me, because I do think the more expensive a card is, the harder it plays, and the more it comes at opportunity costs. So while the scaling is technically totally linear, the way that most people talk about it, like a 0 for 2, or 1 for 2, a 2 for 4, and so on, I think a 4 for 8 technically should be a 4 for 9. We have seen cards that are better than this that are 3 for 8 with upside that are conditional, but this is just like the flat out, the floor of what you want a Marvel Champions card to be. As much as I do think more expensive cards should be technically a bit better than they are. This card's fine. The problem is this is the only damage we have in our deck, and that actually is a significant issue. You really have to consider firing every single Swinging Web Kick when you draw them, because otherwise we only have 2 attack and that's it. This is it. And this is again the issue where we're not good at knocking out like a 3 health guard minion, because the only way we can knock out a 3 health guard minion is a Swinging Web Kick, which is super, super, super silly. You don't want to be doing that as much as possible. So this is our first downside, and we won't be really fixing that with Protection, unfortunately. Protection only has like 1 or 2 cards you can put in the deck that are attack cards. One of them's actually really good. It's the one that does 4 damage if it defeats a minion, get a toughness. It's a bit expensive, but it's not bad. And I do want to shout out that Spider-Man does not have to defend to get this value. So you have a toughness and you just take the attack to the face, you're getting your card draw anyway, so that's pretty good. But Swinging Web Kick is like the gold standard. A lot of people will compare cards to Swing Web Kick, so it's good to see the OG, the GOAT from here. Yeah, it's 7 years Void Archer, isn't it? Hey Wings, tried creating a minion summoning deck for him a while back, and I took it through the core villains again for nostalgia. It worked for varying success except Ultron. I don't know if I'd be excited to make a minion summoning deck in Spider-Man, because ultimately Spider-Man can't seem to deal with the minions. So I think if you're building a certain deck for this, like maybe aggression, you can get away with it. Now, we talked about his deck not having any sort of thwarting, and this is unfortunately his only thwarting card. This is Spider Tracer. There's 2 of them. They're upgrades, which is kind of neat. Like, it's really cool that Spider-Man actually attacked thwarting in a different way. I guess you could complain that most decks right now are a 2-cost thwarting event, a 2-cost attack event, and they get a bit samey, and I at least like that they tried something here. Now, it says you can attach it to a minion, and it's only an item and a tech card. Being a tech card is actually kind of interesting. When an attached minion is defeated, and you don't have to do defeating, you can remove 3 threat from a scheme. This makes this a 2 for 3, which is not amazing. That's honestly not that great in this game. Technically, like that's okay. Specifically because it's a conditional card that is unplayable in some board states and has a delayed payoff. This card should just have lower numbers in its cost or higher numbers in its thwart if it wanted to be a competitive card, but it's not particularly good. And then ultimately it's attached to a kit that neither can summon minions consistently or defeat minions consistently, which is unfortunately not going to be helping it in any meaningful way. That's not good. This card is definitely better on heroic or in multiplayer where there's just more cards on the table, so there's more likely to be minions. But specifically when you play solo, this card is it's a dud, unfortunately. And this is the only thwarting he has in his entire deck, which is a problem. And protection's not going to fix that. Now, Web Shooter, this card has been reprinted just directly, which is kind of cool. I like this card a heck of a lot. It's a 1-cost tech card that comes in with 3 web counters, and you can exhaust this to spend a web counter to generate a wild resource. And I like resource generators that are not permanent. Shout out to the Falcon's bird flight card thing. I forget the name of it right at this point. But cards that can generate resources and then get rid of themselves so you can figure out when to use them, when to not use them. You can figure out about your deck cycle. I think are just a bit more interesting than just like one-stop solutions. They're obviously not as good as one-stop solutions, but a wild generator can be used for anything. But I do think the resource generators in this game sometimes are a bit boring. You just get them on the table in your first cycle and then you forget about them. At least this one comes and goes and has a bit more synergy being a tech and an item, I suppose. So that's okay. It's not bad. His resource economy is really, really good though. So like he doesn't need this, but it's nice to have, 2 non-unique resource generators in your deck you can get down your first cycle. Not you. Enhanced never looks like it's spelled right. Enhanced Spider Sense. Enhanced Spider Sense. Okay, so 2 of these. This unfortunately is a superpower, but because it's an interrupt, you can't use Death Focus on it. It's a 1-cost card that says when a treachery card is revealed from the counter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. Notably, it's not when you reveal it, it's when anyone reveals it. It only cancels its when revealed effects, so it doesn't cancel Surge or anything that shows up in the expert set. But that's not bad for 1 cost. Functionally spending 2 resources to cancel a treachery is like pretty good. It turns out it's pretty good. But the problem with this card is it's an event. We've seen a couple upgrades that can cancel events, treacheries. Those are really quite good. But the problem with this card is it's not often worth holding it into your hand. Cool thing about Spider-Man is if Spider-Man gets attacked, he's likely going to have 6 cards in hand when you draw treachery, so it's more likely to fire. But this is definitely not a bad card at all. And for our build, we're going to be actually swinging into this a bit, pun intended. It's much better in multiplayer because, again, there's more people drawing. And if you draw a minion instead of a treachery, not only is this card dead, but you're not good at drawing minions. So it's nice to have this hit something on the table. Now, I think easily, maybe my favorite Spider-Man cards, a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man cards, it's just a 0-cost defense that says when you would take any amount of damage from an attack, don't. This means you don't have to defend. You've already drawn your card from Spider-Man. Backflip is just a get out of jail. Spending 1 card to dodge an attack is just absurd. There's like no card exactly like this in the game. This is just the easiest playable card. It's not even only in hero mode, so you can actually backflip if you manage to get attacked in alter ego, which is kind of fun. But yeah, just good. Just good. Just great. You like it. We're going to be able to recur this slightly the way protection can, but it's one of the most fun cards. On May, she's really good. She's a 1-cost persona that just heals 4 in alter ego. I mean, that's absurd. That's like most of your health. Okay, that's not, it's slightly less than half your health. But Aunt May is a really good reason to jump down. And when you jump down, you never really have to recover because for every cycle you jump down, you're healing 8 with Aunt May. Jump down, heal 4. Next turn, heal 4, jump up. It's really, really good. Now we're playing protection, so we can jump down to alter ego surprisingly more than like a leadership or aggression with ready for a fight. But Aunt May is just really quite good. And we will get attacked more than most because we like to get attacked because we draw cards. We actually want to get attacked sometimes. Rogue plus med team solves a lot of his problems, so he can thwart for 3 or attack for 4, and he has an economy to support it. Yeah, I could see Rogue being good. Rogue is nice. The same way that, like, I guess for Rogue, sorry, not that Rogue. You could also just like play any ally. Like maybe you can just play Gombi and call it a day, but Rogue is not bad. She's a bit expensive as much as you have the economy. And yeah, her like 3 thwart 4 attack is probably a really good spot. So I could see that being a good choice. Yeah, I like that actually. I don't play a lot of med team and I don't know why. This card's better than I think it is. It shows up in a lot of decks that are not terrible. Hey, HFT, sorry to hear you being under the weather. Hope you're feeling better, back to normal soon. Thank you. I'm assuming by Sunday we'll be in a perfect spot, but shout out to, I'm not going to roast my brother because my brother's the best, but like he came in for my birthday last week and he was like, man, I got these allergies. Every May I get the same allergy. I've understood now they're allergies. Nah, bud, you were sick. You got me sick. You got my partner sick. She was worse, but earlier this week, my sister got sick. Just like, not a good idea. I'm super excited he came out for my birthday, but like super spreader. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll make go. Yeah, she's really good. Now, the last card is Webbed Up. And I think this is probably the least playable card in the deck. Now, Webbed Up is weird. We've seen a card exactly like this, and I think they usually cost 3. Sometimes they cost 4, but this is a very, very expensive hero card. In fact, there's not a lot of hero cards in the game that cost 4, so this has to be pretty good. It's a condition, shout out to that trait. You can only attach in hero form to an enemy, usually the villain. And when an attached enemy would attack, you discard webbed up and then stun the enemy. So this cancels 2 activations for 5 resources, which is not amazing. The cool thing about this card is that it technically does beat Stalwart or Steady as much as the first part will, not the second part. But the weird thing about Spider-Man, and this is always the hard thing with this, is like, I want to get attacked, dog. I like getting attacked. I don't want to cancel 2 activations because now this card doesn't cost 5. It costs 7 because I just lost 2 card draw. Maybe that's a bit silly and probably a bit better in multiplayer where you can tactically use this to protect 2 people at the same table. And I do think his cards are much better suited for multiplayer than solo, which is, I mean, that's fine. I do think the designs in the future got a bit better in making it playable on most board states or most player counts. Shout out to Rogue to some extent, I guess. But yeah, I just don't love playing this. It's very, very expensive. There's a couple situations where this is worth playing. Also, yeah, it's only when they would attack. So they can't stop a scheme. You can't jump down. None of that stuff works. It's very expensive. The one of this in Iceman, I think cost 3. It does not do the alternate stun or the additional stun, but the 3 costs like phased and confused sort of thing. They usually do cost less than this. And also this is not a superpower, which like, I guess kind of makes sense, but not really. Webbed up is so much better multiplayer, speaking from experience. Yeah, I could see this being a lot better multiplayer. Spending 5 resources to cancel 2 activations in multiplayer, you're probably looking pretty cute, and then you still can get attacked if you time it right. Corebox Hero, I'm excited. Hey, Takuya, how's it going? Finally, we Black Cat. She's also very strange. She was the first, I want to say, citation needed, non-consequential damage ally. So she comes in for 2. She also has enters play text, which is really weird. It says, after you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck and add each mental resource card to your hand. And our deck is like not even the most mental resources. It's about a third. I think it's like pretty even. I think it's 5-5-5-5. But you do get a swinging web kick every once in a while, or like a backflip, no, or enhanced spider sense, which is not super useful. But I guess you're looking for the web kick and you can build your deck around it. But the thing with Black Cat is when she's on the table, she just does 1 damage every turn. I mean, if you block with her, you can, and then she can come back and do her effect again. But it's really weird to have a character that wants to stay on the table forever, but also has enters play text. Like, that's so strange to me. I'm also not sure why she doesn't have consequential narratively. Like, I think Black Cat is a bit of a risk. But yeah, she's strange. She like does not mesh well with just about any other part of our kit. She really does stand out besides being like a very important Spider-Man character. But she's strange. We did recently just see a leadership card that says any ally that has only 1 health left can get +2 attack or +2 thwart, which will mean Black Cat on 1 health will be very, very good in the future for just doing 3 attack every turn, which can solve some of Spider-Man's issues. But if you're playing leadership, I don't think Spider-Man's going to have any issues. Could give Black Cat sidearm +1 attack. Yeah, Robert, I mean, I think that she's worth building into. Like, you can definitely do the Voltron stuff, like give her +1 attack. Range is also really good because retaliate will mean that she does truly stay alive forever. You can Voltron the heck out of her. Like, technically, she is a target for, and I still haven't played it yet, but I can't find a reason to want to play Cameo. But she is very unique at what she does. It just doesn't seem like it lines up well with all the Spider-Man stuff. I do like a community mender updated the card to cost 1 less for each web shooter control. Would have been nice. Oh man, that would be really cool text. Yeah, maybe too good, but yeah, that'd be really cool if the text this cost less for every web shooter. Because then keeping the web shooters around would actually be like a much more interesting decision than just emptying them. Sometimes you want to keep 1 counter on them and not discard them for like the card that discards cards. You know, that sort of synergy. But that's interesting. The worst part about her is that she can discard on May. Other than that, she's fine. Yeah, she can discard on May from your discard pile, which like, I mean, she's a risk. All right, so we're playing Protection. This deck is not tested. I wanted to play with some fun cards, and what more fun card in Spider-Man alone for theme and for text is Taunt. So Taunt says the villain attacks you, draw 3 cards. You cannot block with that with allies, so you have to take the attack, but you draw 3. That's absurd, because again, this is not once per round or once per phase, it's whenever. So when you play this during the hero phase, it's just 2 cards to draw 4 cards, which is good. Now, if you're exhausted, you have to take that damage to the face, which is maybe sustainable if you have Aunt May and you can jump down. But like Taunt is just really, really good. And in any character that Taunt can draw more than 3 cards, it becomes such an absurd card. Where we played like Colossus Taunt on this channel, and like on turn 1, we've drawn like 9-10 cards. Like it's just, that is just what happens. Because generally you're not worried about the damage. You can defend. Like on turn 1, we're not doing anything with our 2 attack or 1 thwart. We just play Taunt. We just draw 4 cards. Like it's so good. The setups are very, very explosive. And Taunt is just really fun. Also, Spider-Man can quip the whole time. If you want to come up with your good Spider-Man quips and you want to put them in the chat, we'll definitely have to say them whenever we play this card. So we're not super prepared for that, but ideally they'll be very exciting. Return the favor. So I originally had 3 copies of this in the deck. Some of this is the Spider-Man art on it, but it says discard cards from the top of the counter deck until you discard a treachery. Reveal a treachery, deal 5 damage to the villain. I wish it was just deal 5 damage to anybody because then you could actually knock out minions, but deal 5 damage to the villain, it's a 1 for 5, which is nonsense in this game. However, the real cost is drawing a treachery. And the reason why we're playing this is that we actually have treachery cancels. And so when we play a taunt and draw into a lot of cards in our hand, we're very likely to be holding our enhanced spider sense, and they're useless because you don't want to hold on to them usually. So it's nice to have this sort of combo. And it's not only return the favor that we have, we're also playing Spider Tingle and Get Behind Me. And this is the whole like Web Warrior type package. And I think, man, Spider Tingle is one of my favorite cards. Like this card's so good. So this is a 1-cost superpower. So another reason to play Death Focus, which we're kind of on the fence of wanting to play it. It says when you would reveal an encounter card, you deal 1 damage to a Web Warrior character you control. Oh, we're not a Web Warrior. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh, the deck fell apart. We have to make ourselves a Web Warrior. We need to add a card to this deck. But you cancel the when revealed. So basically you do 5 damage for 1 card by taking 1 damage, as long as you pre-played this. You can also cancel the text. Yeah, I just realized we're not technically a Web Warrior. You can cancel the text with Enhanced Spider Sense. The thing that's important though is that return the favor, you have to reveal the card for the damage to go through because revealing the card is part of the text. But if you cancel the when revealed, you still technically revealed the card from understanding, so this works. We're also running a single copy of Get Behind Me, which I've not really played this card. It's been around since the core set. It says when a treachery card would be revealed, don't, and instead the villain attacks you, which means you can actually translate this to forward tempo if you want to on the right board state, which is interesting. So the deck indeed was not tested. No, it definitely was not tested. It is as simple as adding the upgrade that makes you Web Warrior. I think it is. Unfortunately, we're already at like 41 cards, but I think we legally have to play that. I'm just bummed out to play 2 cards that require this other card for the setup, but that's what we will do. I think we're just going to get that card into our deck. I forget the name of it. That's like probably Warriors of the Great Web or something. I forget the name. We'll get it in here. Yeah, Warrior of the Great Web. That's the one, right? We just have to add this to our deck, which is a 1-cost upgrade that will give us +1 attack when a Web Warrior ally leaves play. Blank text, but it will make us a Web Warrior for 1. It just sucks that we have to put a moving part to make our other like already ambitious moving parts work. Anyways, that's the idea. Return to favor will do some damage, and like a cool thing about return to favor is that it costs 0. So even in a 5-card hand size, which usually we should have a 6-card hand size, swinging web kick into return to favor does, what is it, 13 damage? That's really good in solo. Like a hand that does 13 damage is very, very good. 5-card 13 is absurd. Now you have to get an encounter card. Hopefully that's not that bad. It will be a treachery, not a minion. Maybe that's good for us too, because we can control the deck by destroying it. But this is the idea, and I haven't played this card ever. I haven't played this card ever. I really enjoy Spider Tingle. It's even better with allies that you can do 1 damage to. But yeah, we're going to be trying that out for sure. Yeah, maybe we should just pretend he's a Web Warrior. A lot of people do that. I don't feel bad about it, but you'll likely be able to draw into the upgrade with Taunt and Hero ability. For sure. It's just like, ow, I wanted it to be smooth. This is already not smooth. This is why they need an upgraded Peter Parker. Andy, how's it going? Yeah, I know. At some point, they'll reprint him with Avengers and Web Warrior, and I think it'll be kind of cool. But yeah, it'll be fine. All right, just to show the other cards in the deck, we're playing 3 copies of Desperate Defense. We could play the one that gives you 2 defense and stuns the villain, but we don't want to stun the villain. We want the villain to attack us. That, I'll be the first to admit, is probably a fallacy, because if the villain is stunned, like these other cards like Return the Favor or Get Behind Me, mostly Get Behind Me do get better with the more stuns you have. It technically means Taunt is free because it's just like draw 3, remove the stun. So there's a chance we want to play the one that stuns them. For now, we're going to not and say that Spider-Man just wants to draw more cards. I'm also playing 1 copy Disarming Defense. I haven't been minding playing 1 copy of this in the deck just because removing upgrades, we're not the worst at it because we have a good hand size functionally. But this is very, 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 very good text in certain scenarios. I don't think Rhino has the most upgrades we want to remove. I think there's a couple, but just having one of these in our discard pile means we can go grab it with Jocasta, as much as Jocasta can always pick a backflip, and backflip might be better than this. But I like playing 1 of this as a toolbox card because it has really good text. It really does. I've been altered to Spidey that retcon Web Warrior onto him. Oh, Growlix, I need to report you to FFG. I'm really sorry. They'll be here in a minute. Just like sit down. Don't do anything drastic. I enjoy Spider Bingle too. Figured it works better with Silk because she can swap in counter cards. Yeah, it's really good with Silk. I've enjoyed it the heck out of Silk. But like, I honestly have played it in any Web Warrior that can play it. Like in Ghost Spider, it's like taking 1 damage to cancel a treachery or attempt to cancel a treachery is usually worth it when you're playing protection. You usually have health to spare. Like I think it's really, really good. Oh, on that note, 1 second on the timestamp. I got an email. I emailed FFG because this has been a question that's been coming up on the stream a bit. What does Boom Boom do? Hello, does anybody want to explain what they think Boom Boom does? Because we've been playing Boom Boom wrong on this channel like 2 or 3 different times. So I was confused about this. We got a bunch of comments about Boom Boom, and a lot of people were saying like, Andre, I think you're wrong, which is fine. Like I am wrong, not inconsistently. So I said, I'm going to email FFG and get back to us. So this is Boom Boom. Boom Boom says, after Boom Boom attacks an enemy, place 1 bomb counter on it. What is it? I'm pretty sure it's the enemy. At the end of the player phase, remove a bomb counter from play and deal 2 damage to each enemy for each bomb counter removed from it this way. So the question is, if Boom Boom attacks a minion, does 1 damage to the minion, we put a bomb counter on the minion. At the end of the phase, the bomb counter goes off. Who takes damage? Is it Boom Boom? Is it the villain? Is it the enemy? Is it some combination thereof? You can answer in chat if you like. I'll wait for the delay, but I'm just going to find the response I got through email. 1 second. So the response is, when resolving Boom Boom's ability at the end of the player phase, for each enemy with a bomb counter, you remove that counter and deal 2 damage to just that enemy. So each enemy takes just 2 damage this way. So it is not a true AoE card, so we were playing it correctly after a while, but unfortunately she just does not hit the table the way that the aggression Boom Boom does. So Boom Boom functionally just attacks for 1 and then 2. That's it. The least exciting or like understanding of this card, but yeah, it's only dealt to the enemy that has bomb counters on it. So it is unfortunately the worst version. I mean, I get it. It's just like so confusing because the other Boom Boom is like a lot more interesting. But yeah, this Boom Boom, all it does is 1 to 2. Yeah, this text box is a bit messy for sure. Any sentence that has like a subject and an object and uses it is like super confusing. But yeah, it does not do the way that I played it classically, the way that a lot of people in chat say that they want to play it, and that's not good. I'll definitely update that on the Marvel CDB. I'll add a link and everything, so it's up there for posterity. But yeah, it's yeah. Could you get an example with Command Team? Yeah, I guess I could. So I haven't thought about this. So say that with Command Team, we can ready her twice and use her twice. So say that Boom Boom attacks. She attacks an enemy, she puts a bomb counter on it. Okay, so she hits enemy A with a bomb counter on it. In fact, let's just use these 2 here because they're here. So she attacks Tombstone. She attacks Scorpion, does 1 damage, puts a bomb counter on it. So I will just do damage dealt. So it takes 1. Then we ready her, and then she attacks Tombstone, puts a bomb counter on her, does 1 to Tombstone. At the end of the phase, for each character that has a bomb counter on it, you remove the bomb counter, and just they take 2 damage. So that would just do 3 damage to each. Alternately, if you had Tombstone and she attacked Tombstone for 1, it would take 1. Then she ready and attacks Tombstone again, it would go to 2. This would go to 2. Then the bombs would go off. This would go to 6. That's from my understanding. So for each bomb counter removed from a character, that character just takes 2 damage for each bomb counter on that character. It does not hit anybody that doesn't have bomb counters. Each bomb counter is 2 damage. It's like super straightforward, but unfortunately it's like not what anybody wants her to do. But I'm glad they responded. It was a pretty quick response as well. I forgot to ask whether her text will still be relevant when she's defeated, but I'm 90% sure of it because it's not after she activates. It's just till the end of the turn. Yeah. Hey, Ginger, it says damage to each enemy for each bomb counter removed from it. So if there were bomb counters went, then the same would be that takes the damage. Still not well worded. Hold on. So if it was where the bomb counter went, then the same. Yeah, it's not particularly well worded, but at least we know. Like, that's fine. That's good enough. Yeah. Yeah, it is technically that intuitive, I guess. It's just like, especially because the other Boom Boom works differently and like the art on the card, it's like just not the most interesting reading of it. She's an X-Men, so you can put training card in her, like attack training, then game time to ready her. Yeah, you can game time to ready her. You could Command Team to ready her. You could Utopia to ready her. You could Professor X to ready, or not Utopia, you could Professor X to ready her. So there's ways to make it happen. It's just unfortunately the scaling doesn't multiply. It's just like the same. She basically attacks for 1 to 2. She's like has pseudo piercing, right? Like imagine a 2-cost character with that. Yeah, it's not our best outcome, but it's good to know at least, right? Okay. Anywho, back to this deck. Timestamp for the Boom Boom question. Armored Vest we're playing. We want to get attacked a lot. We technically are an unflappable deck, so we're having +1 attack. We want to get attacked a lot. Sometimes we won't be able to block, so we're going to have +1 health, or +1 defense, +3 health. We do want to be blocking. Unfortunately, blocking exhausts us. Thus is the game. But Unflappable just means that when we get attacked, we'll generally draw 2 cards, which is really, really good. Now, Hard to Ignore is one of the ways that protection, specifically blocking-based protection, can deal with threat. We're only on 1 of these. Feels bad. Maybe we should be on 2, but this deck originally was 44 cards. We're down to 41, back up to 42, so the slots had to come from somewhere. If you have any opinions of where the slots should come for, let me know. A Ready for a Fight is a really good card at jumping down. We have one Ready for a Fight and one Confused card. So jumping down is really nice because then we can talk to Aunt May, and then like that's good for us. Allies, we have more allies than I thought we would. Firstly, Jocasta and Brother Voodoo show up in every protection deck I play. And I mean, I wish there was more protection cards or allies I was more excited to play. But notably, both of these characters have 2 thwart, which is really important that they can thwart for 4, but both of them have just like messed up good text. Jocasta can grab a defense event from our discard pile and put it on her. So we have like +1 hand size functionally, which means we can grab backflip. We can play the one that removes what's it called? Upgrades. All of those are very, very, very good. The other side is Brother Voodoo, and Brother Voodoo will just thwart for 2 and draw you a card. And our events are pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. Like finding a taunt just opens up so much on a turn, so we'll do it for sure. Now, Moon Girl. This one's fun. We've been playing a fair bit of Moon Girl recently because we've been playing trade decks. We are technically only a genius. Where are you, Spider-Man? Uh-oh. We're only a genius in alter ego, so like maybe Moon Girl is a bridge too far, but she's fun. When we're in alter ego, we can play her, and our alter ego generates a mental, which seems like a really good synergy for this. So we can change a fake card into a real card and get a Moon Girl on the table who thwarts for 2 and attacks for 2. That's not bad stats. We probably won't be chump blocking a lot with our allies, so we actually can access all of the numbers on this, which is good. Now we also have Nick Fury and Prof X. I'm sorry, it's that boring, but Prof X is important because jumping down is good and thwarting for 3 is really great. Notably, we get full value from these characters because if the attack is initiated against us, we still get our hero card draw, and then we can still chump block with either of these. We also have a lot of cards, so like having 4 cost, 3 cost cards to dump our hand into are pretty good because sometimes we'll just be drawing a big hand, and it's nice. These are very, very good cards, some of the best in the game. Research generator is pretty simple, just Quinn Carrier and 3 of these. Notably, we're not playing Ingenuity. I'm not sure if we need to. I feels like our deck is pretty resource rich regardless, and we don't have that high of a cost curve. We're playing Protection, so our cost curve is usually pretty low, but that's what we're playing. And Quinn Carrier is just a wild generator because we are technically an Avenger when we're in hero form. Now, to show you the cards I cut from this deck, it's this. We kind of just said it already. Like I wanted to play 3 Return the Favors, but it sounds a bit rich, so we're only playing 2 to see how it is. It's not a card I played a lot, so I'm imagining it's not amazing, but playing 3 of these is probably just a bridge too far. But having 2 is good because it just has additional damage into our deck for very, very cheap. We cut a One Gap Behind Me, which is a card I've never played. It just says instead of when revealed, we get attacked. Technically, we have 4 cards or 3 cards in our deck. No, 4 cards in our deck that can cancel when revealed, so maybe the 5th one wasn't necessary. And then we have another Hard to Ignore and another Ready for Fight, which are really good. I think 2 Hard to Ignore actually makes a fair bit of sense because that means every turn you're not even staying afloat, you're actually advancing when it comes to removing threat from the main scheme. So maybe we'll miss it, but I'm not 100% sure. I now have to go get the card that gives us a Web Warrior trait, and I'm going to be upset about it. Let me go find it. I want to just build a deck that readies Boom Boom a ton. I mean, if you're doing that, I'd recommend the Aggression one because the Aggression one's really fun. Unflappable means you cannot be flipped no matter how much one may try. In Alter Ego? No, what do you mean? Like you still can with Ready for a Fight, right? You can still flip down. You're allowed to. Hey, David, how's it going? I mean, you're going to play Spider-Man if we get those new Echo Protection cards. I might actually play Symbiote Suit for once. Yes, the new protection cards look really good for him because there's that whatever 3 exclamation mark or asterisk cost card that removes threat, and that's going to be really good for Spider-Man. Spider-Man is looking pretty good with some of the new protection cards for sure. And the allies in our deck are good, but they're like not super necessary. The only problem is like Black Cat's a bit weird. All right, where's this card? We also don't play Death Focus. I don't think we need to. It's an upgrade. Oh, it's an upgrade. Yeah, I should have just said the word out loud. So it should be here somewhere. Yeah, we're Warrior for the Great Web. I make that joke all the time. Oh, flapped. Yeah, okay. Hey, Joel, how's it going? All right, let's give this a shuffle. We're 42 cards. If there's something you think we can cut, we can. And I'll be honest, the card we probably are going to cut after our first game, my expectation is that we'll cut a Get Behind Me. I don't think this card is worth a slot. We might even cut a Return the Favor, but that card's like really cool. But I'm pretty sure the cards that are a bit too cute are usually a bit too cute for solo expert. With multiplayer, you know, you can have a bit more room. Someone can always cover your weaknesses, but the problem is like we did not add much to our deck for us to deal with minions. It's mostly our allies. So like these cute cards are probably a bit too cute when it comes to the compression of slots. Now today, I'm only going to plan to play 3 games, which maybe is a bit much actually. My voice so far is holding on. But we're going to be playing against Spider-Man villains. We're not going to be doing a campaign run. We're going to be returning on Sunday morning, and I'm hoping to be able to stream for like 5-6 hours. My partner's off on like vacation things, so like we can just hang out. But we will be doing a campaign run. We're going to be playing Hulk. So it's going to be bad, but we're going to be playing an expert campaign as Hulk. So hoping for the best. We won't be playing Protection, I promise you. So today we're gonna be playing 3 Rhino villains. I think it's gonna be Rhino into Sandman into Mysterio. And just to spice things up, we're not gonna be doing Bomb Scare with Rhino. We're gonna have Down to Earth always in the counter set. So hold on, can I find this? So every single counter set's gonna have Down to Earth in it, which is just the most fun. It means you need to jump down to Alter Ego usually because there's a bunch of these, but they're very like spider themed cards, which are good fun. So we're gonna have to deal with those. On top of that, we're gonna be shuffling in randomly one of these 3 spider character side, what are they called? Encounter sets. These all came out in Green Goblin. I'm a bit scared to play Green Goblin because Green Goblin presents a lot of small minions, and we're not very good at Spider-Man at dealing with minions. So we're going to be playing against, again, Rhino, Mysterio, and Sandman, and we're going to be adding one of these randomly to the deck. This is a mess of things, running interference and power drain, and they're actually like pretty scary sets. Luckily, they only have 1 minion, and the minion has usually 6, 7, or 9 health, so we're okay at swinging web kicking them and dealing with them in one shot, which is going to be pretty good for us. But the cards they add to the deck are pretty bad. In fact, man, which one? I think Tombstone's set is like terrifying, and he will be coming up in the near future next month, which is good. Maybe we'll see some of these other characters as well. But yeah, we're going to be randomly shuffling one of these into the deck, so we'll find out who's teaming up with Rhino. As much as Expert Rhino is not particularly the most difficult thing in the whole game, we'll make it a bit harder for ourselves, for sure. Finished an Earthborn Ranger stream, was concerned when I didn't see a Thursday night stream. Yeah, we haven't been streaming for a while. We missed Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I've been under the weather, but yeah, we're doing better. We're doing better, that's for sure. Joel, I got as a birthday present like Earthborn Rangers, the last 2, like Spire in Bloom, and then the winter one, and the what's it called? The events that go with those. So that was a nice gift from my brother-in-law. So I might have to boot up some Earthborn Rangers and get back into playing solo. Want to go for all 3? PD can take it. I mean, the deck just gets too big, it becomes inconsistent, and we have like a nice rule of 3s here that every villain will have its own. I don't know. There's also like a bunch of other ones. That's the thing. There's so many cool Web Warrior based kits or Web Warrior encounter sets we can shuffle into our deck. The problem is like a lot of them are minion based. Like we cannot deal with the Inheritors. There's way too many minions for this protection deck. We can't probably deal with like Iron Spiders, Sinister Six, or whatever it's called. We can't deal with the Sinister Six. It seems really tricky. It's just because we're not good at dealing with 4 health, 5 health minions. So I don't know whether we should set ourselves up for the struggle. I should just pile shuffle this, or whether we should know our weaknesses and not make sure it's a disaster. The Valley moments. Yeah, I think so. But there's already a moments pack I had, so this is a different moments pack. Right? It's a bit confusing. Next week, I'm starting Spire and Bloom. I enjoy the idea of the small campaigns. I have no. Are they actually small campaigns? I actually don't even know what they are. I thought they just added like more locations. I'll find out at some point. Hopefully it's good. Let me know how it goes. All right, we should be off here. I need to make sure to drink consistently and not forget I have coffee. I also have tea already in a thermos and like 2 liters of water. So we're going to try and get through all of that. All right, that's us. Again, this is Rhino. If you're not familiar with Rhino, Rhino is like the learn to play versus the learn to play. So it's fitting. A Rhino has a couple attachments, so it's good that we can detach those. We're starting with that breaking and taken, and that's mostly it. One of these is going to be randomized. It's hard to fully randomize this because I can't just randomize the villain. I have to randomize the piles. So like, I don't know how to do this because I can't. I'm just going to keep doing this until I forget where we are. All right, chat. Middle, left, or right? Middle, left, or right. That one goes in. Otherwise, we should be in a good spot to play Rhino. Now, Rhino's actually a bit scary, mostly because of the scheming. Rhino only schemes for 1. We have a bit of confuse. Roll a die. I mean, if you don't want to have free choice here, you can. Middle, right? I need at least a tiebreaker left. We have 1 of each. It's middle. Ninja Lands has it. Okay, cool. So we can't see what this is. This will get shuffled into the deck. The deck is actually pretty big. And in theory, we have 2 modulars in here. One, they're each 5 cards big. So, and we have Expert, of course. All right, thank you. Thank you for your participation. All right, the break-in. So not a lot going on here. It is the first scenario. We can't look at these. I'll just stack them so we know how do they break. So Rhino 1, 2, and 3. We're doing 2 and 3 because we're playing on Expert. We're playing not with Bomb Scare. We're playing with Down to Earth and Mysterious Villain, which we'll find out sooner than later. We just flipped this to Advanced. This next one has no text on it. It's pretty empty. And unfortunately, if this one completes, we lose the game, which is pretty scary if you play solo. Because in solo, if you just jump down and you draw like an Advance, the game's over sometimes, as much as Rhino only schemes for 1. Speaking of Rhino, again, there's no text on this. It starts with no threat either, but we have breaking and taken. So Rhino comes in with only 15 hit points. We have to search for Breaking and Taken, and gets out of my way, he yells. He attacks for 3, which is at least a good foil to us wanting to be attacked over and over again. So that's great. Breaking and Taken, mind you, this was before they came up with the keyword. Wait, what's even the keyword called? I forget the name of the keyword suddenly. But it comes in with 3 threat and has a hazard, so we want to clear this. We're not great at clearing it because we only have 1 thwart. So there's not a lot of cards that allow us to clear this. This is a big Spider-Man issue. So we might have to draw 2 encounter cards and play on soft heroic. I'm so happy that I helped you push into trying other mod sets, all from the Jurassic Park idea with Zola and Savage Land. Yeah, for sure. Insight, thank you. It's no, not Insight. That's not it. It's not Insight. Insight is when you add threat. You're thinking of Hinder. Yeah, it's Hinder. Thank you. Sometimes my brain do be like that. Yeah, I really do like playing with other encounter sets. It's fun. I play a lot in the campaign mode, so I'm used to the same encounter sets over and over again. Oh, excuse me. So I don't know. There's a lot to play with for sure. And I think that's it. Again, in Alter Ego, we have an extra hand size functionally. Let's just have some coffee and we should be off. Hopefully everyone's Friday as well. Okay, here we go. Moon Girl, perfect. That's amazing. That's the best time to draw her because on turn 1, we know we can spend our fake resource and then 2 other resources to draw extra cards. That's really, really good. Brother Voodoo is just a mental resource. Now, the cool thing is that we drew Moon Girl. Moon Girl plus our basic activation can deal with Breaking and Taken. The only other thing that we can't do, though, is if we thwart that, we can't defend. So Taunt is a bit scarier. But keeping 2 mentals is already pretty good. Black Cat. I mean, maybe we play her. I put her in the maybe category. Attacking for 1 every round is like okay. There's not that many minions in this deck. We did take out Bomb Scare and we added, what is it, 2 of the street level thugs, 3 of the street level thugs, and then we added 1 big villain. We'll find out who that is, 1 big minion. So like her incidental damage is like not super important, but if we draw a double, like it should be easy to play her and she can draw some more cards. Like she could be as good as Moon Girl, if not better. Backflip sucks. We won't keep backflip unless we draw a taunt. If we draw a taunt, we can keep it. Like already our openings are so interesting and so much of this is draw a taunt. Okay, Spider Tinkle we probably won't keep, but it is another mental, so it's in the maybe category. And then we have a web shooter, which is very, very good. This is Miles's version. I have both of them, but they're the same besides the color of the box. Interesting. Actually, really interesting start here. So backflip's the only really like truly not good card here, but it's only good if we draw a taunt. Unfortunately, our deck is 42 cards and we were only looking at the top 5 cards. So seeing 5 more cards and finding a taunt is not super consistent, but Moon Girl could draw into it. So this is just like a hedge keep. Web shooter is always worth setting up. And then we have 3 mental. So I think we just keep this and don't keep Black Hat. But the more cards we keep, the less likely the backflip is to actually benefit us because we're drawing fewer and fewer cards. But if we draw a taunt, it's really, really good because then we're drawing an extra 4 cards and we can thwart this no problem. This being the thing off camera. I think we're going to keep this and hope for the best. Disarming defense? Okay, whatever. It's just a card. Okay. So no matter what here in Alter Ego, we're going to put down Moon Girl and see what happens. So we're just going to greed this fully. So we're going to generate 1 mental, 2 mental, 3 mental, and we'll play Moon Girl. And this will draw us 3 cards because that's what the text is. Yeah, the Moon Girl plays really quite nice here. So we're just hoping that we draw into a taunt because otherwise we have some wasted cards here. Get behind me. Shouldn't be in the deck, should it? Aunt May, I mean, we can set her up. She's not super useful. I'm going to sneeze real bad. And Unflappable at least is a good start, but it looks like we have no way of getting attacked. So we can hold on to this. In theory with Aunt May, like we could get the first attack to her face, no problem. But this hand is not incredibly playable. So that sucks. Yeah. Are you running Ingenuity? No, we're not. I don't know if we need to. I think our resources are so good in this deck that we don't need to play this like slightly clunky research generator. Like we're already not playing Helicarrier, we're not playing Avengers Mansion, but this is the other payoff. There's 2 genius payoffs in the game right now. We've played one of them, so pretty good. Okay, nothing we have to do here in Alter Ego, so we'll flip up. Our text now just wants to get attacked. Unfortunately, we can't. We'll thwart for 1, thwart for 2. So it's not super easy for us to clear Breaking and Taken on turn 1. You can hold backflip to draw from Unflappable. Yeah, I think we will. I'm pretty sure we will. I think it's worth it. It's like just trading a card for a card and we're ready. Backflip is such a good card. So we'll play our web shooter. So this does exhaust. It generates 3 counters, which I'll just make them purple. It's nice to have cards with counters. I think cards with counters are fun. And this we can just exhaust to generate a wild. So we're going to want to play these 2. And then Aunt May we might just hold on to. It's not bad. Maybe switching Queen Carry for Ingenuity for future iterations. I could see that being the case, but I think we actually have a lot of card draw. The thing is, like, we're not that good at jumping down to Alter Ego, playing Protection. We're only on 1 ready for a fight, 1 copy of Prof X. So, like, I think the Quinn Carry is probably a fine trade. But I could see it. Bless you. Thank you. I've been running Moon Girl and Ingenuity with Rocket and Hall of Heroes. Turns out drawing 13 cards gives you pretty solid tempo. I mean, hey, Rocket and tempo in the same sentence is not incredibly common, so I think you figured something out. Okay, so we'll play Unflappable. So this is great. If we defend, or sorry, if we defend and take no damage, and mind you, we don't have the exhaust to defend if we play a defense traded card, and I guess we will just use our web shooter to play Aunt May. She's good. She just lets us recover a lot. When we jump to Alter Ego, we'll pass. We'll hold on to Unflappable, draw 4 more. Queen Carrier episode ready for a fight? Yeah, well, these do as well. Genius is only good for a subsect, but yeah, having the requirements is nice. It's also good for attachments and stuff like that. Backflip, enhanced spider sense, so that's actually good. I don't know which cards in this deck are worth canceling, but we have a cancel going into the villain phase. Desperate Defense, probably not gonna play that. Return the Favor. This is a combo too if we don't draw Treachery, which is nice. And then our 5th card is Taunt. So this is actually a really good hand. Because Backflip will cancel 1 attack. We'll draw with Unflappable, draw with their effect. The next turn we can do Taunt and Desperate Defense. Like, we're gonna draw a lot of cards. All right, the break-in, I'll probably stop bringing this up in a second, because just so you know, it has no text on it. It goes to 1. That's it. And then the villain's going to activate against us, attacking for 3 in a card. So when the villain activates against us, this is the time that you draw a card. So initiates an attack, we draw an Armored Vest. That's fine. And then we don't have to do anything. Attacks for 3. Okay, we immediately figured out who's we're dealing with here. It's a tail sweep. You are stunned. I mean, that's not great because we don't love attacking for 2, but it means our swing web kicks. We have to deal with the stun. But so there's a bunch of stuns, and I think he's like 8 health. What's his name? Scorpion. However, instead of taking 3 damage, we're just going to backflip here. It's not the best backflip, but we'll do it. So when you would take any amount of damage, prevent that damage. And because we technically now defended and didn't take damage, we can exhaust Unflappable to draw a card. So we drew another Desperate Defense. Okay, 1 encounter card, we can cancel it. So we can cancel this if we want to. It's Stampede. Rhino attacks you. If the character is damaged by the attack, the character is stunned. I mean, I don't think we cancel this. I think we just keep taking these. I think we definitely keep taking these. If it's a 3 boost, we're in a bad spot, but we're already stunned, so the text on this is not super, super bad. A 3 boost will catch us out, unfortunately. So I think we'll let it happen. We draw a card because Rhino attacks us. We drew another Taunt. I mean, I think we just take this one to the face. And then we can do Desperate Defense, Taunt, Desperate Defense, Taunt. Like, we're going to draw the whole deck. Don't forget the extra gang up copy in there too. Yes, I think there's 1 extra gang up in this set. I think you're right. I think we just take this to the face. Because I want to spend Taunt, Desperate Defense, Desperate Defense. Technically, there's 1 more Desperate Defense than we need. But if the Desperate Defense whiffs, we're in a bad spot. But it has to be a 3 boost. Because the first Taunt, we want to play Desperate Defense on that one. The second Taunt, we can just exhaust ourselves. But we want to also get rid of the stun. So I think we do take this one to the face. So 3, 4. That's a Hydra Mercenary. So we take 4. That's that. We are already stunned, so we can't get stunned again, which is good. Okay, that's that. So not too bad. So let's just start blasting. So we're going to generate a wild. And we're going to play Taunt. And over here, Bozo. So the villain's going to attack us. So the villain attacks you. Again, this text still fires, so we draw a card because an attack was initiated against us. We drew a swinging web kick. That's why we want to get rid of the stun. And now Rhino's attacking us for 3 in a card. Here we will, I think the Armored Vest is not super necessary. So we'll do Armored Vest into Desperate Defense. I want to keep this package because I think it's worth playing just to do some damage. Swinging Web Kick's actually probably the least good card in our hand. So I think we'll do Swinging Web Kick into Desperate Defense. I think we're still setting up. So we will exhaust. We're defending now for 5. We want no 3 boost here. It's a 1 boost on the Stampede, so we take no damage. So Desperate Defense says when you take no damage, ready yourselves. And then we draw 3 cards with the rest of the text on Taunt. So nice. We draw a Genius, a Strength, and a Hard to Ignore. So I don't know who shuffled this. The doubles are kind of awkward. We have literally nothing that costs 2. The only things in our deck that cost 2 are the Web Kick, where we threw 1 away. So I think we have to go deeper here. We could play a Hard to Ignore, and I think it's probably worth it because we're not good at thwarting. We want to set that up. So I think like using a double on a Hard to Ignore is pretty silly, but no matter what, we're going to have to spend something awkward on the Desperate Defense. We could also play the Armored Vest first to ensure that even the 3 boost doesn't catch us out. But I think if we get exhausted here, it's not the end of the world. So I think we will play the Hard to Ignore for, maybe we don't play this combo for Return the Favor. Hey, JC, hope you're well. I'm doing okay. I've been a bit sick this whole week, so this is the first time we've been streaming in like a week. Glad you can make it. So Hard to Ignore says after we defend, don't take damage. And then I think we're just going to throw out this and just go for another taunt. And then hopefully we draw into like a Professor X or something important because these cards are not incredibly good. So we're doing a taunt again. So we're getting attacked. So the villain attacks us one more time. We draw a card. It's a web kick, which I think we want to play that with the double. So I think we actually will get rid of the armored vest for desperate defense. So now we're defending once more time for 5. So the villain's attacking for 3. 4/5 off of master plan. We don't take any damage, which means we ready ourselves. Like, it's so good. We've drawn through so many cards so far. We draw 3 off of taunts. 1, 2, that's every web kick. 3, and then we remove 1 threat with Hard to Ignore. Okay. So this is why we wanted to be able to be ready here, because we want to send a swinging web kick into Rhino for sure. We could set up a ready for a fight. The problem is it'll have to be our strength, which is a bit ugly, but it is what it is. So we'll just attack to get rid of the stun. We will do 1, 2, 3 for a swinging web kick. Unfortunately, the spider tracers are totally dead. So yeah, classic, do 8 damage to the villains. Pretty good. Cut Rhino in half. Thoughts on the Defenders wave so far? Daredevil didn't really turn out how I thought, but I think that was inevitable. So far from everything we've seen from the Defenders wave has looked really, really strong and also really, really interesting. There's a chance that Defenders Daredevil might be like one of the strongest characters we've seen in a while. Like, it's hard to tell because you have to see him in play, but I also worry that he might be boring because being able to play the top of your deck, like having the separate deck that you can play without counting towards your hand size, is a really, 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 really strong ability in this game. And it'll just mean that you're super, super consistent. And every turn you can just mash out all 5 of them. That could be an issue. We'll find out. But I think he looks really interesting. There's going to be a lot of different play patterns for him. Echo looks fun. I think Echo also might have a repetitive loop where you just keep playing the same stun or confuse cards over and over again because she can do that, but she looks fun and interesting, a bit more interesting probably in multiplayer. Jessica Jones looks busted, like just so strong. She looks interesting though, but she does feel Ironheart-ish. I am not sold yet on Luke Cage. He seems to be the worst, but I think we just haven't seen the upgrades that really give him the toughness. I hope they learned from Strange. I mean, they definitely have learned a lot. Like Strange was like 6 years ago, but like it still has to be fun too. Double swing web kick. Yeah, we might just web kick again and knock out Rhino. And like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. When we started the turn, it was 13 cards ago, right? Like, I think we just do another swing web kick. Like, it knocks out Rhino, which I think just gives him a toughness, but I could be wrong. So we'll do 8 more to Rhino. Rhino's knocked out. Rhino 3. Toughness when revealed. Stun each hero. Perfect. And he has a toughness and 16 health. I mean, we said we play every single web kick. We did throw out 1, but that's really, really good. I'm excited for Daredevil. I'm going to pick up a bunch of research generators on him and go to town with a Sense deck. I'm surprised that Duff Focus is not being reprinted in Daredevil, but I do think Daredevil looks like the one I'm most excited to play for sure. We'll pass. There were 2 new Luke Cage cards revealed this weekend, but it doesn't feel like they solved the question if he loads up on Tufts. Yeah, one of them is really good. In fact, I think both of them are okay. But we'll talk about them after this game for sure. But yeah, 13 cards gets you tempo. It does get us tempo, that's for sure. Man, Taunt is an absurd card. We'll draw 5. So Quinn Carrier's here. We have the ability to give us a Web Warrior trait, which might not matter at this point in the game. We have a defense conditioning. That's the one we're holding on to. So that gives us 4 defense and extra health, which we could use some health. Spider Tracer. We have another Prof X in this deck, which we want to be able to jump down and recover because we did get a bit beat up here. Now the biggest issue is that Rhino attacks for 4 in a card, so Unflappable is not guaranteed. That's going to be the bigger issue. So Rhino's on 1. Threat's on 1. Rhino's attacking us for 4 in a card. Now importantly here, no matter what, we draw a card, and then we can decide whether we want to jump down or not. We have 1 more Taunt in the deck. We want to play Prof X here. We want to play defensive conditioning. We can play, yeah. Like, we're not likely to perfect block here because we're only blocking for 3 in a card. So if this is a 2 boost, we're cooked. In fact, we're only blocking for 3. So I think this is the situation in which we need to block with Moon Girl. So gets in the way. Excuse me. 4, 5, 6 on Shadow of the Past. Spider-Man himself knocks out Moon Girl. None of our text fires. 1 encounter card. Gang up. Okay, like, I'm not going to say we're going to be dead here, but this is going to be pretty bad. So Rhino attacks for 4 in a card. We do draw another card. A Spider Tangle. Notably, this gang up is a Mess of Things gang up. So this is the second gang up. I think gang ups are actually one of the scariest standard cards. But yeah, there's 2 gang ups in the deck. We found one of them. So now Rhino's attacking us. We have this many cards in our hand. We have to just defend because otherwise we're likely to die. So we defend for 3. So 4, 5. We do take 2 damage and we don't fire any of our attacks. Imagine having Taunt with Ronin and electrostatic armor, draw 4 and deal 2 damage for 2 ER. You have to count the setup, but yeah, for sure. It's quite good. It is really, really quite good. In fact, you can get to retaliate 2 or 3 on some characters and it gets really, really goofy. Okay, so it's a good time to jump down. We are exhausted. We don't have any text here. A lot of our cards are kind of unplayable. Defensive conditioning is really good for 2. And then we can just play Prof X and then float this. We have to remember when we jump down to Alter Ego, we have another resource, so we can actually spend that as well. So that's okay. It sucks to play Prof X and jump down right away, because if we jump down, Prof X's text isn't super relevant. So we might actually chump block with Prof X this turn. We have 1 more Taunt coming up, and I think we have 1 more defense traded +2 defend card. So I think this is actually probably just play Prof X and stay up. Because playing this and then jumping down is okay, but it's not amazing because then you lose the block on Prof X, and then Prof X becomes so much worse. Again, Prof X here is just going to be a confuse block. And that's it, confuse and a block. So yeah, that's okay. So I don't think we can play the webbed up. I don't think we can play the Quinn Carrier. Maybe we can get the Warrior, the Grey Web out of the deck cycle, but we're like 2 web kicks away from the game being over. So we always play this. So say that we do this for 3. We aren't going to deck out, which is good. So we can play, yeah, we have 1 resource left over. So there's not much we can do with that. So I think that's all we do. So I'm going to spend 3 for Prof X and 2 for defensive conditioning. So when the professor enters play, it's a low value professor, but it means we can jump down next turn because we lost already for a fight. Prof will thwart for 2, or for 1, excuse me. We'll confuse Rhino. We'll play defensive conditioning on ourselves. So this gives us 3 more health and 4 defense stat, which is pretty good. And then we'll just pass. Not much else we can do here. Draw 5, it'll be 6. Played a lot of Daredevil and Echo with self-printed cards. They're both very powerful, playing Expert Goblin mostly, and both consistently doing 30 damage on the last turn. I'm really worried that Daredevil is going to have this like play line, and I think he only has 1 of the card in his deck that does like scaling damage, but the scaling damage card looks absurd. It looks so good. Super excited for Daredevil. I'm going to pick up a bunch of research generators on him. Go to town. Excuse me. I think I read that. But yeah, I agree. I've played a few games of Daredevil on Tabletop Simulator. He's pretty cool, but I'm struggling to get in the game flow because struggling in multiplayer to actually defeat stuff I set up. All right, Nick. The last taunt. Jocasta can get a backflip. There's 1 more backflip somewhere. And we can even just like hope we draw into the backflip, which is good fun. Webbed up and a desperate defense. So we have something for the taunt play. We have 5 cards left in the deck, so we're pretty much guaranteed to find the backflip one way or another. And we can always just set up Jocasta into the backflip play, and then we can play taunt. So it comes to 1 threat. Rhino's attacking for 4 and a card. We draw a card because it's initiated against us. So we draw a backflip. I'll return the favor. I mean, yeah, the cards that we didn't think are going to be worth playing are probably not worth playing. So Rhino attacks for 4. We block with Prof. 5/6. This is one of the attachments we could get discarded. Prof is knocked. 1 encounter card. We don't have a cancel in our hand. A mess of things. The titular side scheme. All right. I don't know these cards. Scorpion tears through the business district, causing as much mayhem as possible. I love the old Scorpion art. When revealed, place 2 additional threat here for each stunned friendly character. I mean, that's super cool text because it comes in the set that stuns you. So 4 threat and a hazard is pretty difficult for us. Not impossible because we have Nick and Jocasta, but we actually have to play a pretty clean line here if we want all this to line up. Taunt will draw the rest of our deck. So the rest of our deck is exactly 4 cards. So this is where you have to consider your deck cycle. And we know there's a backflip in here, a resource generator, and a double. And enhanced spider sense, which is cool. So how do we do this? The stun does suck, right? Like we have to just activate to get rid of it because we have no cheap attacks. So we can't just pay our way through the stun. So if we play Taunt, we're going to draw our whole deck. So we can do Web Shooter for Taunt. So that goes into the bin, which is fine. Then we get attacked. We can play Desperate Defense. We're going to be blocking for 6, which is not guaranteed to ready us. But if we're not ready, it's not a huge mistake. And then we'll draw 3 cards. That'll get us to deck out, plus the 4th card. We have a 1 in 4 chance of drawing the backflip, so we don't have to do this. And then after we deck out, we can use the double into Nick Fury. And then no matter what, Nick Fury's going to miss the cycle. The one thing that we probably want to do first is Jocasta. But if we play Jocasta after, Jocasta will probably have access to the backflip because we can pitch the backflip to play Jocasta, and then we can bring that back, which is kind of interesting. So I think we just start here. We have to deal with this, which means we have to play both Nick and Jocasta, and I think we have the resources to do it because, again, Taunt is absurd. So we're going to spend the last resource on this. to play Taunt. The villain's going to attack us, so Rhino's attacking for 4 and a card one more time. We draw, not the backflip. And then we're going to just spend, unfortunately, these are the cards going back into the deck, but return to the favor back into the deck is okay, and we'll play a Desperate Defense. So this technically goes into the bin, but it is resolving, so we are technically defending here for 6 on Desperate Defense. I think this is my favorite favorite protection card is this, and then the one that stuns that came after. But like, this is exactly what you wanted protection to do. It's a bit outclassed, it feels like, with modern cards, but like a 1-cost defense event that readies you is pretty good. So we're attacked for 4, we're blocking for 6. No boost on the assault is perfect. So we get all our triggers here. Firstly, Unflappable draws a card. This in theory I don't think this resolves on the table. I think it's in the discard bin, but I'm not 100% sure. Because when you play an event, it immediately goes into discard bin. I don't think it like resolves its whole text. I think it just does its text and goes here, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But like usually I'll put Desperate Defense on the table for the duration of the attack. But as soon as you play it, it does go straight into your discard pile and just gives a lingering effect. So I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm like 80% sure. We then hard to ignore to remove a threat here because we didn't take damage. And then we draw 3. So we do 1. Last card was the backflip. And then we owe ourselves a card. We really need to clear this so we don't draw 3 encounter cards. So far, so good. Like, how many cards have we drawn with Spider-Man so far? Like 6 or 7 cards? It feels like it's a lot. Don't you resolve line by line? So I think you can draw 3 cards, then it hits the bin. I mean, like, that's why we would think it is, but I'm no Desperate Defense. The event goes straight into the bin, even if the text is like activating. I mean, I guess we can do that, but I think it's just like, it does the text and immediately goes into the bin, and then you resolve the text like from some weird limbo space. I might be wrong about that, but it's like important to understand. Technically we're resolving the text line by line, but maybe that one is on the table and Desperate Defense is just like all at once it's happening. Hey, Maddie, how's it going? How are you doing out of the con? You took the good weather with you, which like, I'm glad you have it at least. All right, one more card. Desperate Defense is an interrupt, Taunt isn't. I think the timing is different. Yeah, I could see that this is like still resolving. So it'll miss the cycle. That's not my favorite, but it's okay. We draw Prof. Nice. That helps too. Okay, so we are ready. We took no damage. We need to deal with a mess of things. I think we're going to start with Nick Fury. So we're going to spend the cards that we're not going to spend. 1, 2, we're not going to use. So 1, 2, we'll throw out the backflip, trust me. And then we'll throw out the Enhanced Spider Sense and we'll play Nick Fury. Of course, we'll draw 3 cards. I'm saying, of course, we draw 3 cards. I need to be a bit careful. I think there's a couple board states where the damage makes sense, especially in this deck, where like access to 3 burst damage is not super common. So sometimes Nick not drawing is okay. Quinn Carrier, Spider Tracer, bummer, and Get Behind Me, bummer. So these are unfortunately not playable cards. Okay, Prof X is probably not the play because we already have a chump block and we already have a confuse. We don't want to jump down now that we have Nick Fury, but Nick Fury will always thwart for 2 off of this. And then I think we're going to play Jocasta and see what happens. So we play Jocasta, it takes us 3 cards. So we can do 1, 2, 3, which leaves us with this hand. With this hand, can we play the Quinn Carrier, which is better than the Web Shooter? So if we do 1, 2, 3 for the Quinn Carrier, then we can spend 3 for Jocasta. Yeah, let's do that. So 3 for Quinn Carrier. We'll exhaust the Quinn Carrier. And 2 more to play Jocasta. And Jocasta's text is so good. I want one of these for aggression. I don't think we'll ever get a card like this. Usually aggression searches the deck, not the discard pile. So after it enters play, we can grab a defense event in our discard pile and we'll attach it. We're just going to go for the easy backflip. And we can play it as if it were in our hand. Really, really good. Taunt Spidey is a good time. I mean, Taunt is like one of my favorite cards. I love toughness. Like, I should be so excited for Luke Cage. And unfortunately, like the Colossus in the room is like, oh man. So I'm hoping that Luke Cage turns out to be one of my favorites. Jocasta with her 2 thwarts, she'll deal with this, which is great. We're not always great at dealing with a side scheme the turn it comes in. Where is Table Cat? She's sleeping on the bed, hoping the sun will come out. You resolve the attack halfway through that. At least that's my understanding. I've been quite wrong before. No, I think that makes sense to me. I think that is intuitive, Andy. We want to get rid of the stun because we have 3 Swinging Web Kicks in our deck. So we're just going to attack for 2 to clear the stun. Let alone we've seen some cards that punish you for being stunned, but if we saw them, that's probably all that there is to play around. Okay, and we'll pass. Good setup. First deck cycle, pretty good. So we're going to be drawing the 2 encounter card turn, which we'll see how that scales, but we have a backflip and a Nick, so we should be fine. Enhanced Spider Sense, we want to cancel one of them. Moon Girl, so we want to jump down, which is good because we have the confuse. Web Shooter is good. return the favor, which if we have enough damage, like we draw a web kick, again, we're on 13 damage, 14, 15, 16. We could have lethal as much as the toughness will come in the way. And unfortunately, it webbed up. There we go. So 1. Villain's going to activate, going to attack for 4 and a card. We will draw our spider card. It's a spider tingle, which we can't legally play. Oops. So Rhino is going to attack us. We're going to block with Nick Fury. So 4, 5, 6 on our rent. Nick is knocked. So 2 encounter cards, and one of them we can cancel it if it's a treachery. Are we going to cancel this card? No, because we can't. It's a Scorpion. Scorpion, a mess of things. 7 health, quick strike. After Scorpion attacks and damages a character, stun that character. Ow. Okay, we definitely need a swinging web kick for this thing. So that sucks. I'm glad he showed up. Actually, that is interesting that he showed up. So he's attacking for 3. If we defend for 3, unflappable and hard to ignore go off, which is probably good enough. We could play backflip here, and backflip's also good enough, and then we're ready. We only have 2 damage on this table, so we need to find a swinging web kick. We'll have 2 more from Moon Girl. The problem is when Moon Girl draws, we won't be able to play the web kick. This would be a fine time for a web tracer too, but yeah, Scorpion is now attacking us. I don't know, y'all, where y'all live. Have you ever seen a Scorpion? I'm assuming for people who live in the south or southwest of the states, you have. But we would have these in Slovenia. So like you go up to the mountains in Slovenia, you're in like a cottage or, you know, someplace somewhat rural. And then finding a Scorpion crawling across the wall at night is like the most terrifying thing. Like, I don't like spiders. I'll be the first one to say I don't love spiders. But oh my God, is a Scorpion the scariest thing? Like this tiny thing with claws and the thing, and it's so fast and the claw crawls on all surfaces. Like Christ, I was not prepared for how scary Scorpions turn out to be. This guy's kind of fun though. Okay, anyways. So we can either defend for 4, fire these, or we can use the backflip. I think we can just defend here. I don't think we need to use the backflip. Using the backflip is good because we can use Jocasta to take off 1 toughness. A web kick hits this no matter what, so I don't think it matters. So I think we will just defend. Backflip is probably worth keeping. So Scorpion's going to attack us. We defend for 4. So all of this text fires. Now, notably, our hero text doesn't fire because here the villain, it says the villain initiates, but we're going to take no damage from this. Unflappable draws a card, and we defend and take no damage so we can clear the threat. Swinging web kick 1 time. Oh, Spider Tracer. I mean, that's playable. And that's it. Okay. So Scorpion is very cool that we can deal with the Scorpion. All we have to do is like backflip Rhino, and then we can just block Scorpion's attack. Oh, wait, there's another counter card. Hold on. All right, we might have to cancel this. No, we're not going to cancel this. We don't cancel attacks. Assault is going to happen. So Rhino's going to attack us 1 more time. That's more card draw, so now we can fight our swinging web kick. So attacking for 4 on a card, we will just play the backflip here. Firstly, I guess the attack is initiated, so we draw a card. It's a black cat. Not a web kick, but black cat can draw a web kick. So Rhino's attacking. Technically, we don't play the back kick flip yet, so 4. 5 off of a common criminal. We backflip, we don't take damage. Okay, good. That was actually perfect. Okay. So hand is not amazing. If we can jump down, we can play Moon Girl, which can draw more cards. We only have to spend 2 mental on her, which is good. The enhanced spider sense is a mental, and we can use the spider tingle as a mental. So that's sorted. I think the next thing we do is we play Black Cat, and we hope that Black Cat draws into our web kick. We have 3 in this deck, and Black Cat finds mental resources and adds them to our hand. So I think we'll start there. So I'm just going to use the Quinn Carrier. I think we only have 1 more ready for a fight in the deck if we care about the resource, but we should be able to get there. I don't think we're going to stress getting the web shooter down, and then we'll just do return the favor for Black Cat. All right. So she will just ping 1 damage a turn, which is good against the toughnesses. So after you play Black Cat, you can choose. Oh no, you can't. It's forced. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Not a web kick. It's a backflip. Bummer. Not a web kick. So full whiff. Does webbed up stop schemes? No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Sorry. It stops the first one, then it gets a stun. So when attached to any... No, never mind. Need to read the card. No, not at all. 0%. So when attached enemy would attack, discard this instead. If I'm not mistaken, Forced Interrupt happens after stun. So if the villain already is stunned, the stun token goes first. Then the Forced Interrupt goes after. So if you webbed up a stun character, the stun will leave and then the webbed up will stay, which is not bad. Each time a player plays an event card, the player places it on the table in front of them and plays the cost, resolve its effect, then place the card in its owner's discard pile after the effect resolved or are canceled. But so Void, that's really good to know. But the thing that I don't understand is like when you play Desperate Defense, it has this passive text that says if you take no damage from that attack. But from my understanding, it still immediately goes to the discard pile and you have to just remember it's resolving. I think that's the problem I have. Because with Desperate Defense, you have to remember that text. But I don't think defense events stay on the table until the attack is over. I think they immediately get played and go to the discard pile. That's the part that I don't understand. Because it makes sense to me that taunt will stay on the table because you're doing sentence by sentence. But this technically gives like a passive floating ability. Like it does not wait for the whole attack. I find that weird, but I don't fully understand how defense events have if they have like, you know, text like that. Because it doesn't wait for the whole attack. It just says you get this +2 now, and if you don't take damage, you're ready, and then it goes into the discard pile. That part doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, we didn't draw a swinging web kick, so we probably have to stay up here. So Scorpion will attack us. We can block Rhino with Jocasta, and we have to slowly work on Scorpion. So this hand suck. Oh no, I think we have to legally jump down because of Moon Girl, but then we'll lose to an advance. We can't. I think we can't play Moon Girl here. Unfortunately, Enhanced Spider Sense is a hero card, so we can't cancel in advance if we jump down. We've seen none of the cards that say Rhino Scheme, so there's still 2 in the deck, as big as the deck is. So I think we actually do a Web Shooter into Webbed Up, which is kind of fun. So we'll do 1 for the Web Shooter. So it comes in with 3. We can exhaust this and spend 1, which we will. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will actually web up Rhino. Got him. So now Webbed Up says that the next time Rhino attacks, they are stunned. Unfortunately, the Rhino doesn't attack, so you don't get your encounter card, or your card draw, which sucks. You discard Webbed Up, then stun. And because the attack gets canceled, he can't fire Unflappable or Hard to Ignore or anything like that. A Black Cat, she'll just attack for 1, working on Scorpion. And we'll just pass there. I think Jocasta is better as a panic block. Yeah. Whip. You can play Whip 2 in this deck, and like you kind of want to because it puts more superpowers in your deck. Unfortunately, we're not a Web Warrior, and that's obviously unfortunate because of the art. But the bigger issue is like we don't want to stun the villain, so like Whip is a bit weird. The Justice one is a bit better, Quick Whip, but obviously we can't play it. We'll draw 5. There should be a section about Resolve in the rulebook. Yeah, Resolve is not defined. It's just an English term, right? Armored Vest. Return the Favor. So this is 5 damage. Disarming Defense. No upgrades. There's our first Web Kick, which now Scorpion only has 6 health, and we'll draw another one soon. Desperate Defense. Not useful. We could play it against Scorpion just to ready ourselves, but our ready is not that important. This goes to 1. Webbed Up fires. So we've just lost 2 card draw here. So Rhino does not attack us, so an attack is not initiated and gets stunned, so has collected all 3. Luckily, the Scorpion will attack us. The problem is, it's not as good. We don't draw a card, at least directly. So this will stun us, so we're just going to defend for 4, which means we didn't take damage, so we can do Unflappable to draw a card. Brother Voodoo's good, Hard to Ignore to remove a threat. 1 encounter card. Oh, Sandman. The whole gang's here. So it's Sandman. Simple Sandman. Has toughness. That's cool. We can ping that off. But I think this is the biggest minion in the Rhino kit. So there's not enough minions in the first scenario, if you ask me. I think minions are really cool. It's really funny that Spider-Man isn't a Web Warrior. It was before they invented that technology. But some people just play the retcon version where he is. Okay, we're just going to put this up there. And it's back to us. Okay, we have a lot of work to do. We do have a lot of work to do. I mean, Scorpion is the one that we want to attack, but we want to clear all the minions before we jump down. And unfortunately, no turn that we have a Web Tracer do we have a minion, or at least a minion that's worth attacking. The Stun and Confuse on Rhino is good, but that does rob us of card draw, which feels not great. Return the Favor is like really good here, but it only targets the villain. So like we'd be happy to do 5 damage to Scorpion for a win revealed, but we can't make that make sense. So what can we do? I mean, Black Cat probably attacks for 1 into the toughness. Sandman hits pretty hard, hits for 3, so does Scorpion, but I think we have to Web Kick Scorpion here. The other option is ignore these 2 clowns and just go to the face. And we know we're drawing 1 Web Kick here, and I think there's 2 Web Kicks in our bottom like 9 cards. So we probably do win in 2 turns if we just ignore these 2. So we actually might not want to actually spend any more resources on these cards and just go straight face. I could see that being correct. I think that is correct. I think we're going to ignore these. So instead, Black Cat's going to attack 1 into Rhino, and we're just going to go face. Again, this is asking a lot for us. We're not good at minions, and putting a Web Kick not into Rhino into Scorpion just feels very, very bad. So we're going to, the question is whether we play Voodoo. If we play Voodoo, we spend 3, get a card back. We can spend 1, 2, 3 on the Web Kick. I think that's fine. So we'll play Brother Voodoo. This card was recently reprinted, which is great because it's one of the truly great protection allies. This is our second last red die. And when Brother Voodoo comes into play, we can look at the top 5 for an event. We should hit. We don't technically want to swing Web Kick here because we're going to discard it, but we still have one more, I think, in the deck. So even if we mess up, it's okay. So we'll get rid of 1, 2, 3, and we'll look at the top 5. Not an event. Their Web Kick, we don't want that one, so we want another event. Okay, we got a Taunt. Wait a second. Did we just win this turn with the Taunt? The thing with Taunt is you can play it on the stunned character. It's totally legit. They just don't attack you, so we don't get any of our benefit, but you can basically trade a stun for 3 cards. I think there's a chance that we can find 2 Web Kicks here and play them, especially because we saw so many doubles in our deck. So I think the Taunt is okay. It's only 1 card for 3 as opposed to 1 card for 4, but probably right. Greed? Yeah, I think we're grading it. I didn't know you could email FFG and they can answer. How long did you wait for the answer to the Boom Boom question? Like 3 days? Not even. Like I asked on a weekend and I think I got it like a day ago, maybe. So like 3 days. I've asked before, like I've asked an Iceman question and it took like 2 weeks for them to get back. The answer was more thorough. This answer was like much more faster formatted, which I'm fine with that. But if you just search FFG question, like ask a question, generally your search engine will get you there. And there's a forum that you put in your information and what game you care about. So it probably depends on what product you're talking about. Like if you're asking a rules question for an older game, it probably will take you a while, but Marvel Champions, right? It's pretty fast. I mean, I think we do it still. So we'll do Quinn Carrier into Taunt. I don't think it's likely we'll get full lethal here. We have to draw perfectly. We have to draw like 2 doubles, I think, and a Web Kick. So the villain attacks you, stunned, so they don't. Then we draw 3 cards. Unfortunately, the attack was not initiated, so we don't draw a card. We draw 1. Okay, that's a good start. 2, not great. 3. Is this good enough? I think we're short a resource, right? Because 1, 2, 3 is a Web Kick. Yeah, we're short a resource to do lethal. I mean, we'll have it next turn. Problem is we have to deal with Rhino, but we can block with an ally, no problem. But we're 1 resource short. We needed this card to be a double, which was not super likely. Yo, Lion, how is the German convention? I mean, face we go. We do 1, 2. Web Shooter. Swinging Web Kick. You know it. Does 8 damage to the villain at half health. Unfortunately, we're 1 resource short here. So I think we're just going to do what we're going to do. We could always play ready for a fight with the Web Shooter instead of what we pitched. Or we can give ourselves +1 defense. The +1 defense doesn't seem like super relevant with 3 allies. So I think instead we're going to use the Web Shooter to play this card. So imagine we did that in the right order. But this means we are legally allowed to jump down, technically, because of Rhino schemes, we can cancel it and jump up. So I think we can just jump down here and recover for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We won't deck out. Notably, our hero text is not forced, so we can always ignore it. So I think we could consider jumping down. This will go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unless there's a card with insight, we should be okay because Rhino can't activate against us with ready for a fight. So it's risky, but it's possible. I don't think we have to take that risk, I'll be honest, but we could consider doing it. In the meantime, we'll just attack for... No, attacking for 1 doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll just pass. Draw a couple more. Keep the Web Kick. Desperate Defense is nice. Spider Tingle. It's the 3rd one, of course, and a Taunt. Okay, so we should be fine here. This goes to 1. Rhino is truly going to attack us for 4 and a card, which is a lot. If we don't block, this could just knock us out. We get our card draw. So we drew a Warrior of the Great Web. Do we have 6 hand size and altar? We do, but like there's still a small chance we lose here. We're relatively safe on this board. So what can we do here? We want to defend against Scorpion or Sandman because we'll fully block them. Scorpion's the most important because Scorpion stuns us. Mind you, she's ready. So I think here we just send Jocasta to the way. So Rhino attacks Jocasta for 4, 5. Jocasta's knocked. I feel like you use 10% of this deck. Shut up. You're right. It's like all the cute cards are not worth playing because like just having the allies and the resources are so good. I think this is like a solo protection issue, but like, yeah, the Spider Tingles are just so hard to play because we have to play this first, but like playing this first costs us tempo and we're so good on tempo. We're so good. Scorpion's going to attack us for 3. We could just Desperate Defense here for safety. I think we will. So we'll generate a Quinn Carrier for Desperate Defense. This just means that we're ready. So we're paying 1 for a ready. So we block for 6. We could have done that against Rhino, I guess, but there's a chance it would have whiffed. So this is just safe enough. So we take no damage against Scorpion. Scorpion attacks for 3. So Unflappable draws a card. Oh, that dex is out. We won't do that. Hard to Ignore removes the threat. Sandman attacks for not you. Could be you, but it's not you. We're going to take 3 damage to the face. That's it. 1 encounter card. We have no cancel in our hand. Advance. I mean, we got to confuse. Notice all the drool on Rhino's mouth until seeing his art enlarged, so thanks for that. Are you saying you don't like that? He's so wet. Look at him go. He's so into his work. It's really nice to see somebody who's that invested into their work. Who is he hitting? Like, what is that? Oh, it's a car. He's destroying a car. Yeah, it's cool. Good for him. It's good art. That's it. It's back to us. We can just web kick. Game's over. We could taunt, but we don't need to. But we could. But we don't need to. But we could. We could definitely could have taunted here. I won't complicate things. We'll just play web kick. That's the game. Villain takes 8. Perfect. Easy. Yeah, I do think like dealing with the minions probably wasn't worth it. We have a block against Rhino. We can block against these. But yeah, we're not good at minions. That's for sure. So being able to ignore them without taunt is great. Now, the other thing we could have done this turn is we could have like generated a resource, played a taunt. Rhino would attack us. We draw our last card, which is the double, which matters. We could have defended here for 4, no problem. So we're defending for 4. I mean, we probably take damage. 1. Unfortunately, we take 1 damage, so we don't unflappable. But then we draw 3 more. That's good. This web shooter would be in the discard pile. We would draw 1, Desperate Defense, a bit too late, Armored Vest, and a backflip. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really open up anything, but we could have done 2 swinging web kicks. So we could have knocked out Scorpion, we could have knocked out Rhino, no problem. I mean, it's fun. It's so tempo. It's so much tento. Taunting him for knocking him out is cruel. Would Spidey do that? I think Spidey would 100% do that. I don't think Spidey is cruel. I think, again, Spidey is just someone who enjoys his work. So when you can, you should. Okay, do we have to have the Reckoning today? Do we have to have the Reckoning that there's a bunch of cards in this deck that are too cute? Like, do we have to have that conversation? Because, like, let's talk about it. Let's be honest about what we have got going here. So there's a brew here that's really good. The parts of the brew that don't make sense. And we can't talk about the Spider-Man cards because we can't change them. So you shout out a card when it doesn't make sense in the deck. Heroic when? We've played Heroic on this channel before. The last time we played Heroic was with Miles and had a good time. I also played some Heroic Shadowcat off camera and had a good time as well. But these are the cards that are too cute for the deck. This is too many cards to play to make a playable card. That feels bad because we don't have Web Warrior. Return to Favors are not awful, but they don't deal with minions. And Get Behind Me is like kind of whatever. We have enough card draw. So I think our deck is 42 cards, so we can cut these and then play 4 more cards into the deck. So it's up to you to figure out what they are. And I think it's probably likely that we should just play cards that make us better at blocking or make us deal with minions, which I think that's probably fine. Yeah, I think stacking the defense bonuses and stop hitting yourself. I'm not a huge fan of stop hitting yourself. I don't think it's actually that good. It's cool that it allows us to knock out minions, but like this card does 4 damage, 6 damage for 2. I mean, that's actually pretty good. I said it out loud and it's pretty good. 3 for 6 is good. You can add more Ready for Fight and Ingenuity, make it more consistent. I'm not convinced we need the Ingenuity, but what is the one card we do need? I think it's like stop hitting yourself is not bad against minions. Yeah, Rogue for minions, I could see that us doing that. That's fun. Powerful Punch, I don't think I love because I think you have to defend for Powerful Punch, right? Not Today is decent for thwarting. I could see us playing Not Today. I could also see us playing another Hard to Ignore, which like Hard to Ignore can't go wrong. The problem with Hard to Ignore is it's only the main scheme. Not Today, I think, is either, right? Not Today is remove 2 threat from a scheme, which is really good. Like I could see us playing that for sure. Yeah, exactly. It's not locked to the main scheme. Why are there crumbs in here? Gross. The other card I could see us playing is Hard Knocks. Like toughness is really good. We do have some reasons to defend, but if we don't have to defend, it's good. And this does 4 damage to knock out a minion. Like that's not bad. But I like all the recommendations so far. Powerful Punch, I think we have to block though, right? When an enemy initiates attack, oh no, we don't. Ooh, that's just better. That's more fun. Is there new art on this card? I thought they reprinted this. Did they not reprint Powerful Punch? Or no, they are reprinting Powerful Punch. It just doesn't exist yet. Powerful Punch is awkward because you don't play it from the Spidey draw. No, we don't. But it's okay. Like it knocks out a minion for 4 for like 3 for 4 is okay. How much worse is it than stop hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself, you have to defend. And take no damage. If you're playing Powerful Punch, you might as well play Change of Fortune. I usually do fall into that camp. I play Change of Fortune in way too many decks that should be. The heal 2 ready, the heal 2 ready is okay. The problem is like the heal 2 ready is not that good on us on the basis that our basic activation is not good. Like we can increase our stats over 2 and 1 toward is kind of useless. So we're playing 2 resources to heal 2 and do 2 damage, which is like fine. I think there's some worlds in which the heal 2 ready is better because we can now get a taunt again and actually defend. But the heal 2 ready, which I believe should be here, but it's still in, oh no, it's here, is like not awful. It's just like, we're not a very good character. Our basic activation is not super important, right? Yeah, it's not super important. Hard Knocks feels expensive for what it does. It does because it is. Like, I'm not going to pretend it's not great, amazing. In theory, this is 4 for 4 and a toughness. In theory, for 4 damage, we should be playing 1 resource, right? Like, it should be 2 for 4. But getting a toughness is usually worth about 1 to 2 resources. So this card's not awful. It's not terrible. The problem is that if you can't get the kicker on it, it's really, really quite bad. Do this all day? I don't like that card. I don't think I can do this all day. It's the 1 cost ready, right? It's like defend without exhausting. Like this card is just defend, and it doesn't matter if you take the damage, which like maybe that's okay. But this is just a 1 cost defend. Somebody ate on top of that folder. Like maybe. I don't play a lot of this. I just don't. This to me feels so similar to Indomitable. And I don't play a lot of Indomitable, but Indomitable is an upgrade, so you can play and walk away. The difference with I can do this all day is like it's dead in a hand if you draw it into Taunt, and that technically counts as defending. So like I just don't see why I would play this unless I have event synergy, defense synergy. When Indomitable is a card I don't play and is like the same text, but as an upgrade, it's way more consistent. What am I missing? And I don't play a lot of Indomitable, so I'm probably missing something as well, but like I don't understand this card that much. It's good if you have a deck that actually requires you to play a defense card, right? Like if after you defended and didn't take damage, which for us, it's relevant, but we can always exhaust, I guess. In theory, this is playable when you're exhausted and Indomitable isn't, because Indomitable is after you defend. So if you just get exhausted right out, you can't play this. But Indomitable seems good. Spider-Bite or Daredevil? Spider-Bite, we have only 2 tech cards that we play consistently. Daredevil is okay at chump blocking minions. I can do this all day is better for multiplayer. Yeah. Okay. That's true. I have a very big multiplayer blind spot. But yeah, this is much better multiplayer where you can, as exhausted, defend for somebody else. Where Indomitable is a bit more selfish. Yeah, I could see that being good. I want to try Winter Soldier with Hard Knocks. I played a fair bit of Hard Knocks in Protection. And it's a big thing too, is like, if you want to knock out that glider, you need a 3 cost attack. Blade 1 cost chump. I don't know if we need 1 cost chumps though. I'm not sure we do. I think we need to actually play like more table stuff. Blade's really good. I think I misplayed Blade. I misread it. After Blade thwarts attacks, choose to either spend from your hand or discard Blade. I don't think I realized he had no consequential, which like, that's kind of neat. Nerves of Steel and Powerful Punch. Nerves of Steel is not bad. I wonder if Ingenuity would be better than Nerves of Steel. I don't play a lot of this card anymore. I used to. Okay, so hold on. We need to add 4 cards to our deck. I want to add a bit of minion damage. So I think Stop Hitting Yourself and Powerful Punch are both reasonable. Let's try Powerful Punch first. And then if it's not good, we'll try the Stop Hitting Yourself, which is a bit more flexible. So we add 3 Powerful Punches. Yeah, like adding an ally for threat would make a lot of sense. I think we can add a Rogue and be happy. This can help us. We can add a Rogue. She's good. She's expensive, but she does give us good stats. She hits us for a bit of damage every once in a while. I think she should be here though, which means she's in a deck somewhere. Where would she be? Where did we play Rogue last? Not in Rogue, because you can't. Oh, I think she was in, I still have the sleeved up, what's his name deck? The Golden Boy. She's somewhere in this pile, excuse me. The 27 health or whatever the character with the most health is. Oh. She must be in here, right? Yeah, okay. We'll try that. Maybe not the most exciting, but I think that works. Energy Barrier helps with perfect defense, dealing some damage to minions and breaking toughs. Yeah, it's good. Energy Barrier is a really, really solid card. And for what it's worth, Spider-Man can play Repurpose. Your ready is not super great, but like we already have a whole bunch of tech cards, so like Repurpose is really easy. I worry that every time we play protection, we end up in like the same sort of, handful of cards. So at least we don't play these cards consistently. I do value that. But Energy Barrier is like a really, really, really good card. It is very much on rate. It's flexible. It deals with retaliate. It deals with toughness. It deals with a lot of stuff. And it incentivizes, or it like really makes us easy at not bricking. Let's see if we have enough reasons to play power and what's it called? The power protection. So generally you want to have, I think we can play power and protection. We only have 4 1-cost defense events. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. We could play 1 power protection if we wanted to. I don't think we need to. There's good solo protection cards, and then there's the rest of the card pool. Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I just want to make sure we have enough cards. 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 25. That's right. I prefer playing 2-player protection decks. I still haven't played this game two-handed. It's like, it takes up a lot of table space, so I'm not sure how to do it, but we definitely should do it on the channel sooner than later. I'm worried I'll like it more, which means like everything else is an issue. Okay, power and protection. I think we're okay. I think our resource generation is good enough, but we could play 1 more double in here. We'd have to cut something. I think Ready for Fight actually might be worth another slot in this list, because Ready for Fight means we can jump down and do all the great alter ego stuff we have access to. I could see us wanting to play another one. So maybe we cut a Powerful Punch for the 3rd Ready for a Fight. We'll call it there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's good. All right. Real quick, let's talk about some Luke Cage cards. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're all well. Been a bit under the weather. So far my voice is holding up actually. It doesn't feel worse than we started, which maybe it will after. We'll find out. Yo, self-destruct. You will like it more. Two-handed is great. Deck space is the same reason I don't do it more often as well. Yeah, I mean, so Arkham Horror, I think I like way more in multiplayer than true solo. And then once I started playing two-handed true solo, I'm like, well, not true solo, like two-handed solo. I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better. I'm not surprised. I actually like the sharpness of Marvel Champions, where like, it's much easier to build a deck that can do everything than in Arkham Horror. Because Arkham Horror, like, the character classes are very, very pigeonholed. Like, you can put enough damage in a protection deck. You can jump down to alter ego in a protection deck, but like, you can't do that in Arkham Horror. Also, happy Friday. Congrats to the Canada 6-0 last night. Soccer, I take it. I don't know who we beat. Hopefully they were a hard opponent. Hey, Wasteland. He's one you don't see too much. Yeah, I haven't played a lot of him too. He's on my lower play count, but damn, he's like quietly very, very good. How you been? Self-destruct, were you recommending, were we talking about, what's this called? The Dinnaman book. Dungeon Crawler Carl. Were we talking about that last week? So hyped for you to talk about the Luke Cage cards. So Lion, just so that we're on the same page, we talked about all the Luke Cage cards, I think last Friday, because the article came out last Thursday. So if you want to watch that, you can go back and watch the timestamp. The short and long is, and I guess it's worth reiterating this, because going into this, knowing like where I stand on Luke Cage is probably worth something. I think Luke Cage is likely to be very powerful. I think the article that dropped last Thursday does not make him look powerful, because they just did not show enough ways for him to get infinite toughness. He has really cool text where he can have infinite toughness. That's important. And we saw a lot of cards where you spend toughnesses or they scale with the amount of toughnesses you have. It kind of feels like Groot, which is not a good sentence to say. But yeah, toughnesses are really going to matter for Luke Cage in a lot of different ways. The problem is the article that it showed last Thursday just did not show enough ways to get toughnesses. There's an alter ego card that can give you 1 toughnesses, 2 toughnesses if the game just started or you're in a disaster situation, and an event that costs like 2 or 3 that gives you 1 toughness, which means there's definitely some part of his kit that they haven't shown, which is how you're meant to consistently gain toughnesses. Also, the article showed a couple leadership cards that like made no sense in context, right? Like very, very weird leadership choices. Like I just want to highlight this card as one of the worst looking cards in a Luke Cage deck from what we know so far. Because it says after your hero defends, each ally gets +1/+1. And like Luke Cage, from what we've seen, has no incentive to defend because he has all the toughnesses in the world and a 1 defense stat. So like there's clearly part of the puzzle we're not seeing. So far, all the heroes they've shown look incredibly competent. So I'm just assuming we're missing something. But like I can't be super excited because from what I see, he does not look functional and he does not look more interesting than Colossus, which sucks. These new Luke Cage cards should make you feel better. Let's see how we think about that. Because you did not like the other ones. Okay, so we got 2 cards. I don't know where they're spoiled from. So I think they were from FFG's like marketing, like some sort of social media accounts. This art we should have seen coming because it was the art at the top of the article, and it's pretty solid art. So this is Harlem's Hero. It's a 1-cost event. This is card 2, which generally the events are front loaded. They don't always put priority on like what the most numbered card is. Like card number one's the most important. Usually card number one's the ally. I want to make sure that's the case. I don't think this bursting process is the first one. I'm assuming his wife is card number one, right? Yeah, okay. So this is card 2. We don't know how many of them there are. It's a 1-cost skill event. Hero action, give Luke Cage a tough stats card. For each tough stats card on Luke Cage, choose a character you control and ready it. So at a minimum, this is a 1-cost, gain a toughness, and ready yourself. Of course, the more tough stats cards you already have on Luke Cage, this gets better and better. But the floor on this is a 1-cost toughness and a ready for Luke Cage, which is very, very good. My guess is he has 2, if not 3 of these in the deck, because this is exactly what you want to do. Now, him being ready doesn't seem super, super important because we haven't seen any payoff that increases his stats. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a +1 for every toughness, the same way that Colossus has, but his stats is just 2/2, which is not bad for solo, but like these cards are better the more readies you have. Now, of course, this is going to be even better when you have a lot of toughnesses and a lot of characters. It's a character you control, so you can't help in multiplayer. But if you have a whole bunch of allies, and mind you, he has a leadership ally deck that also will have toughnesses, so the allies might be able to activate a bit more. That's very, very solid. Again, this is a strong card, but this is not going to give you plus toughnesses the way you want, unless his deck has 3 or 4 of these. I'm surprised that this is not a superpower to some extent. Like, I feel like being bulletproof is a superpower, but I'm not sure the lore on this one. This card's not bad. It's a very, very, very good card, but I don't think it solves the issues. It's just another 1 card. And maybe at the end of the day, it's just like he's going to have enough events that give him +1 toughness that he does end up getting a lot of toughnesses. It means if you have this on turn 1, you actually will get 3 toughnesses on your jump up, because you do the bursting process, get 2 toughnesses, jump up, play Harlem's Hero, you have 1 toughness, so you're on 3, and that's like not bad at all. You'll probably be good for a while. But this is not the engine piece I think we want, but it's a very solid card. Like 1 cost, multiple readies if you're in a good spot, and multiple 1 toughness at least, excuse me, is pretty good. So again, this card gets so much more, it gets so much better the more toughnesses you have, but we haven't seen enough toughness generation. I hope it's not just a bunch of 1-cost events. If he defends a minion attack with the bracers out, that would be a line for take a stand. I mean, it would be, but like, I don't know if you want to do that. The bracers are not bad. The fact that it gives you retaliate is cute, and you can get 2 retaliate and protect 2 toughnesses, but it's like seems niche. It doesn't seem incredibly good. By the numbers, you'll have 2 Harlem's Hero cards in the deck because Knuckle Sandwich is card 4. Oh shit, only 2 of these? I mean, he is a leadership deck, and I worry that this card will just like pigeonhole him to leadership. On the floor, 1-cost toughness and ready is good enough that you don't need to ready another character, but like being able to ready another character would be good. And when you look at cards like Jessica Jessica has a massive amount of thwarting, so readying her is probably better than readying the average character. So I could see that being pretty good. The floor on this is good, but like I don't know if we've seen a card in a deck that has been able to interact with this many characters all at once, which really pushes you to want to play allies. Again, this can ready every single character. You can have unlimited toughnesses, which again, I don't know if we've seen a card besides Storm deck that can interact with that many allies in a single card. I don't think they really changed my perception of all that much. Yeah, Ryan, I don't know, but let's see this next one because it's Fogwell's Gym. So Fogwell's Gym, that's where Luke Cage trained, from my understanding. 1 cost for sport. Of course, it's unique. It's card 9. After a tough stats card is discarded from a defender character, exhaust us to ready that character. That means I don't get this. I don't get this. Because in theory, like this only matters if you've defended, but we haven't seen a reason to defend. Now that's not entirely true, but say, you have 3 toughness on it, you defend, so you exhaust yourself. Defending is kind of useless unless your bracers can prevent the attack from taking the toughness off, probably 1 with 1 defense stat. And then you can ready yourself, which like, why did you defend? So this is only seemingly good if you have other defender characters with toughness, which there's a lot of leadership support for that in this pack. Or you can remove a toughness from you as an additional cost during the hero phase. And we've seen that, right? Like we've seen this 3 cost or 1 cost attack. Knuckle Sandwich becomes a lot better because Knuckle Sandwich now is deal 3 damage, return this to your hand, ready yourself. Draw a card if you have your title up, which is like really good. That's really, really good. It's not exactly like Colossus, but it's really quite nice that you can get the ready off of a Knuckle Sandwich because then you can attack for 2, attack for 3, attack for 2 for very little besides taking 1 damage. Like that's good. But like, I don't see the defense deck in this because why would you want to ready yourself during the villain phase when you're getting attacked? Yo, Pat, how's it going? How's everyone doing? I've been sick for the last couple of days, so this is the first stream in like a week. How you been, bud? How's the birthday? Just hopped in. Hey, Coffee with Champions. But I have to agree with you that this kit just screams Cyclops regen build. Ooh, what does that mean exactly? Like just healing your allies and keeping them going forever? Because I think that's what his kit is like really, like his pre-build is really pushing you in that direction. They've been very barren on hero traits from what I remember. Rip Def Focus. I mean, Def Focus reprint. I don't think we're getting it, but oh my God, the Daredevil wanted Def Focus reprint. I'm sorry. Ah, it's all right. It was Simon. It was my brother. This is perfect defense hook, or if you're playing leadership with the new cards. I mean, I don't love perfect defense in a toughness build. Because at the end of the day, you have to put so many card slots in your deck that actually require you to defend. Because very importantly, when it comes to toughnesses, you're not defending unless you choose to defend, which means either exhausting yourself or playing a defense traded event. But a lot of the defense traded events are not good with defense on them, right? Like, maybe not good is not the answer, but not as good as they could be. And that always makes me, gamer greed and feel bad. Because desperate defense, you're paying 1, not for just the ready, you're paying 1 for the +2 defense. If the +2 defense is not necessary because you're already tough, you're overpaying for this effect, right? That's the way that you can kind of see it. Now, it is worth keeping in mind, if you defend and your defense stat is bigger than the damage you take, that actually lowers the damage dealt. And so that you don't actually take damage, which means you can preserve the toughness, which there is some reason that you want to be doing that in Luke. It's kind of like the idea that you could protect growth counters in Groot. That is kind of valuable. But again, then these cards are a bit more overcosted and that's not amazing. So maybe there's something there, but ultimately he has a 1 defense stat. So bring yourself up to 3 defense stat. Maybe with the 2 bracers, it brings you to 5 defense stat, and then you can preserve toughnesses. Because probably preserving toughnesses is good if he doesn't have enough tough generation. But it feels just like slightly awkward at a first read. Draw steal is fun? Wait, what's draw steal? At the very least, you can prevent a 1 attack minion from discarding your tough if you have bracers exhausted or not on the table. For sure. Yeah, for sure. Like, that's where the bracers are good. The bracers in the article are highlighted. This is a really weird card, but you can use this to mitigate damage from small attacks or from retaliate, which I think is actually pretty important. This allows you to play perfect defense and not use desperate defense or any cards that raise defense, because the tough makes the perfect defense cards go off and the new card ready him. Yes, but I don't know if that's worth it. Right? Like, I'm not sure if that's worth it. It's like, maybe I have to double check, but I don't think I played a lot of Unflappable and Colossus, because at the end of the day, like, you're good, right? When you lose your toughness, you're already drawing a card. Like, I don't know if you have to make perfect defense better, right? Like I like that design. Like, that's a lot of like why I like Colossus, is that Colossus can interact with a different part of the defense card pool. You don't have to play perfect defense. You can play other weird cards, right? Like Taunt is good. Obviously Taunt is good. And maybe Taunt is, like, speaking of Taunt is really good with Fogwell's Gym, because you can activate, play Taunt, get an attack, ready yourself, do something else. Like, that's cool. So like, I love that these characters are in defense. They're not always perfect defense builds. And it's hard to make Taunt and perfect defense. Oh, sorry. Toughness and perfect defense always make sense, because at the end of the day, you're adding this additional cost, which is defending, just to get incidental value, as opposed to ignoring the attack and not having to pay to get your incidental value. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you're adding an additional cost to get the unflappable value, your unflappable is way worse than it sounds. Right? Like, if I have to spend a card just to unlock Unflappable in Luke Cage, should I have been playing Unflappable? As opposed to a character that needs to defend to not take damage, so I'm playing Unflappable is just free value, like Spider-Man. That's the thing that I never understand. It's like, Unflappable is good when it's part of your game plan, but technically Unflappable does not line up with his game plan. You can still do it and you can have a good time. Like, I'll be honest, I'm talking about like playing expert solo. So like, my opinion is already really, really focused in a weird way. But yeah, that's the part that doesn't make sense. Like, Unflappable is a benefit to doing the thing you want to do anyways. Defending with toughness doesn't necessarily seem to be the thing that you want to be. But if Luke Cage doesn't have enough tough generation, protecting his toughness might be actually worth something. And then maybe that playstyle makes more sense, which will genuinely make him different and interesting compared to Colossus, which I'd be happy for that world. So not 100% sure, but none of these cards give you access to the tough generation that it seems like his kit needs. They also, all these cards are still feast and famine. At least Harlem's Hero isn't, because Harlem's Hero is just like very good. But Fogwell's Gem is another card that's useless if you don't have toughness. And none of these cards allow you to jump down to Alter Ego, which is another issue if we want to say that Bursting Process is a good card. The issue is that his defense stat is just 1. Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, there's a lot of issues. His defense stat being 1 sucks. It's really remarkably bad if you want to protect your toughness. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know how many cards we're missing, but like, I'm hoping there's only one card that turns this around. The same way, like, if you didn't know about Iron Will, Colossus would look terrible. I want to be wrong about this. I really do, because like, I love toughness. It's my favorite status by a mile. But we'll see. Is there an MC character you'd want to take a crack at redesigning or fixing? I know there's some custom cards to fix, like Hulk. Oh yeah, there's lots. A lot of the early cycle, like Hulk. We're going to play Hulk on Sunday. Hulk is pretty rough. I would want to change a couple cards for Hawkeye to make Hawkeye a bit more interesting and consistent. I'd want him to play more like Iceman, where like you can have more control about the arrows that go back into your deck and stuff like that. Yeah. I wish his attack was 3 and defense was 0. I mean, I'd be down for that. I'd definitely be down for that. 3 attack on Luke Cage would be awesome because then the reading would matter. But I'm pretty sure he's going to have a card that increases his attack stat based off of toughness. Like he has a lot of cards that are similar to Colossus. I don't think that's going to change. We're only missing one card that has 2 copies and it's an upgrade. So it could be 2 different upgrades though, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised if he has an upgrade that gives him a toughness and gives +1 attack for each toughness, or says when he attacks, you can discard a toughness to get +2, kind of like an X23 effect. That would be very good. And then that would make these cards make a lot of sense. Like Fogwell's Gym, when you make a basic attack, you discard a toughness, get +2 attack, you draw a card, then you ready yourself. Like then he'd be quite solid. I think that's an interesting way to make it make sense. So maybe we have 2 unique upgrades. I don't know if they have to, do they have to be not unique? I don't know how the card labeling works. It has to be the same card because of the pack number on the cards. What do you mean? If that's the case, bummer. But maybe he has some sort of like organic steel equivalent where it's like when you spend a toughness gain 2, I don't know. I don't know. He seems strange. Seems weird. Seems really, really weird. I don't think all the cards are there to support what I think we're expecting him to do. Maybe he just plays slightly differently. Interesting. Still excited. Still definitely excited. I'd hate to not be like super effusive, but yeah, his kit looks strange. It does look like it's missing some stuff. We'll see if those stuff shows up. All right, let's fix this. Talk slightly less, Andre. So this is, oh, this is a standard gang up. We actually saw both gang ups. That's fun. If you're just tuning in, we're playing a couple games today, probably 3, and we're just playing through some Spider-Man villains, playing Protection Spider-Man, and so far it's been good fun. Breaking and Taken starts, Rhino. We're going to be adding a 50-50% chance whether the last 2 villains are going to be adding to the deck. One of them is Hammerhead, I think, and the other one is Electro. Scorpion was a good choice with Rhino. We'll see how the other ones line up. Mysterio getting Hammerhead is going to be a nightmare because I think one of the cards just says on every when revealed happens twice, and that's bad. That's really bad in that scenario. We didn't see a lot of the Rhino cards. I do like playing Rhino on Heroic a fair bit because you just see more Rhino cards. And Rhino is much more scary when he activates more consistently. Organic skin? I see what you meant. Yeah, organic skin. You have the kit number, but also the very bottom under that is the number of the card in the pack. Wait, really? Have I never seen this? Oh my god, you're right. So this is card 5, but it's kit card 6. So the idea is that we know kit card 6 and say that we don't know kit card 7, but we know kit card 8, which means the 2 slots between Organic Steel and the next card have to be the same card. I don't think I've ever appreciated that there's a kit number there. Thank you, Wasteland. Wild. So we're guaranteed for them to be the same card. 1, 2, bummer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've ever appreciated that. Thank you. Weird thing about these kits is that the titular card is the side scheme, and then the villain, or sorry, the minion is the next card. Usually they come like this, where like the main character's on the front, but these were older, so they came like this. It's a weird numbering thing, I guess. All right, Sandman. Sandmanovich. I'm calling it now. 2 cost upgrade, 3 counters. When you defend, spend a counter, exhaust is upgraded, tough, and get +X defense where X is the number of toughs. Oh, I'm into that too, Void Arca. I could see that being good too. Yeah. Where his defense goes up amount the toughnesses he has. It's a bit strange too, because then ultimately you're defending with the character with toughnesses. But if it gains you toughnesses, why not? Like something kind of like Silk's effect, where it just gives you forward momentum no matter what. All right, Sandman. I've heard a lot of people think Sandman is quite easy. I think those people might be correct, but I struggle with Sandman sometimes. So this deck is going to be big. I'm going to put in Rhino. I'm going to put in the City of Chaos down to earth, and we're just going to add another encounter set. So it's going to be a huge deck. And the other encounter set will be one of these face down random ones. So one of them is, you can say left or right, chat. One of them is, again, Hammerhead. The other one is Electro. We could take out City and Chaos because we've already fought Rhino. You can also let me know in chat. What do you prefer? Okay, my throat hurts now. Left, Mike, you got it. This goes in. We'll find out who it is soon enough. Okay, it's Sandman. So we're not starting with the stock standard. The encounter set here, there's actually a fair bit of minions in the deck. The minions are annoying if we don't pedal sand. They have 3 attack, or sorry, 3 health and X attack. So we're not very good at dealing with 3 health minions. So that could be a reason to play more powerful punches. I think we only playing 2. That might be wrong. Hapless pedestrians. Oh, I think I messed up. There's only one side scheme. Or main scheme, excuse me. So it's hapless pedestrians. So this thing is going to explain the setup. It's pretty simple. So we're going to have the city streets environment and put into play, and we'll put 4 sand counters on it. So these sand counters are important because they mill through the deck. And Sandman actually has very similar stats to Rhino, so we'll see how this is. Oh, it's Tombstone, not Hammerhead. You're right. It's Tombstone. Both the Tombstone and Hammerhead are showing up in the next set. And I really love these like street level Spider-Man villains I grew up with. So very good. Black Widow's another favorite protection hero. Don't know if you played her in green on the channel. I feel like we've only played her recently in Justice, and recently means like maybe late 2025, but she's killer good. I think the next thing I want to play her is an aggression. I wanted to say that we almost played Spider-Man in aggression today, and I have to be a bit cognizant of only playing protection over and over again. And the reason why I would want to play Spider-Man in aggression is that you can play air cover. And not only can air cover, well, you'll have aggression cards so you can deal with minions more aggressively, but you can go get not suppressing fire, but the other one that you can attach to minion to give your attacks against that minion overkill, which means that your swinging web kick into a 5 health minion doesn't feel terrible. So I think there's a reason to want to play aggression Spider-Man as well. Anyways, flip this over. So Hapless Pedestrians comes in with 2 threat. After an acceleration token is placed here, you have to take 3 indirect damage. And the acceleration token probably will be placed here because this is going to be discarding cards from the top of the encounter deck. We did make the deck bigger, so I think we made it easier. So I think we have to take out City and Chaos. But the problem is I can't take out City and Chaos without looking at the deck. But by putting 5 more cards in this deck, we made the game easier for us. So let's just hope that we didn't. My bad. I don't think I considered that, but we should have taken out the City and Chaos cards. So I guess if they show up, we'll just discard them so that we don't have to sort through the deck and spoil our surprise. All right, City Streets. We're going to have to fire its text in a second, so I'm going to read Sandman first. So when revealed, wrong side. Resolve the Surging Sands ability. Attacks for 3, 18 health, so bigger than Rhino. When Sandman attacks, you have the attack deals indirect damage, and if your identity takes any amount of damage from that, you have to do Surging Sands. So the cool thing about this is we can defend, and I'm not sure if the text on Unflappable says if you don't take damage or if no damage was dealt. Regardless, we're going to be defending against Sandman anyways, and we want to be able to take no damage so we can draw a card with all our stuff. But Sandman does hit Surging Sands, so we shouldn't take damage from him. Wow, who do you have to shovel sand in this deck? Most of our allies are 2 attack, so hopefully anybody. It means Rogue will be okay, I think, but we only have 2 attack. We have none of the like really busted sand shovelers. So ideally we just get down like a turn 1 Moon Girl and just let her chill, or Rogue. That's it. Like we have very few, actually. We only have mostly 1 attack, so I'm realizing in hindsight. This is City Streets. So we still have to do the Surging Sands. So City Streets says place 1 sand counter here, then discard that many cards from the top of the deck, from the counter deck. As an action, you can exhaust a card you control to remove sand counters from there equal to their attack. So on turn 1, we might be shoveling sand because our basic activation is not super relevant. 2 threat here. If it hits 9, we lose. So we have to mill a bunch. So this is City and Chaos. Chat, are we going to get rid of City and Chaos so that we don't make the deck bigger? Or are we just going to play with a slightly bigger encounter deck? Just let me know because it matters of what we discard here and whether we count this as a card or not. I'm just going to swap out my coffee from tea, but let me know what you think. Got a battery of tea. The best card against Sandman is probably Hulk. 2 costs to remove 3 sand counters every turn and have 5 health to soak in direct damage, but he's in aggression. Yeah, man, I want to build so many decks with Hulk in it. He mills so fast, I think an extra 5 is fine. Okay, cool. I'll take it, Andy. So we're going to mill 4 more. Gang up. It's good to see that go. Threat or Menace. Now or never. And so we know who it is, all tied up. We got the scary one, but not the scary one for Mysterio. So this is running interference. There's a lot of reasons that we get stuck and we have to jump down to alter ego, which is like good fun. Sandman only schemes for 1. And that means we're going to be playing against Tombstone. And there's a bunch of side schemes. I think this is the one I think it is. I've barely played against it, so we might get surprised. But yeah, looks like it'll be Tombstone and we should be off. How's everyone doing today? Let's give it a quick shuffle. We added a bunch of cards, hopefully for the best. We canceled all our or removed all our, very naive, hopeful, interesting cards we never usually play. And then you kind of play the game and realize they don't get played. Yeah, Tombstone is showing up in the next box. So is Electro to some extent. So all these characters we get to see again. I think Scorpion's also in the box. I'm pretty sure Scorpion's in the upcoming box. Let's mulligan again. Our alter ego, we get a free mental. We want to get an ally on the table to be able to shovel sand. So let's see who's doing the work. Disarming defense. I don't think there's a lot of attachments. Regardless, we won't hold on to this for like many reasons. Energy, I mean, we'll hold on to that, see if it works. A webbed up and Prof X. So Prof X is a mental. We can get a cheap confuse, a cheap block. That's good. The problem with Sandman is like the blocks aren't super valuable because the block does indirect damage. So Professor X can only block 2 of that damage. So it's like not that easy to chump block. Webbed up is abstractly good. It's like not getting activated on is good, but we don't get any of our texts. So we probably won't even keep Prof X. Taunt, I mean, we probably keep Taunt. We block for 3 against Sandman. We're likely to take some amount of damage, but I could see us keeping that because it draws 4 cards on turn 1. The only other thing we could do is shovel. What we have to be scared of is like City Streets is not exactly exponential, but the more counters on it, the worse it is for you to take damage. Because when there's 5 counters on it, we have to put a counter in mill 6. That's huge. But if there's 2 counters on it, we put it to 3 and mill 3. So we want to get this down before we start getting attacked because we get to take damage. It's bad. We have a backflip. Okay, so that's a natural inclusion. We'll have enough resources to play Prof X, but we definitely don't keep these because we're going to have Taunt into backflip, which will draw 4 cards, and that seems good enough. Professor X is probably not worth keeping, but just getting the confused now is good, as much as our deck has 2 ready for fights in it. We want someone to shovel. We don't have that yet, and Desperate Defense is... We'll probably shovel, right? Web Shooter. I mean, okay. Not a massive temple start. Sorry, that's a Miles version, but it's functionally the same. Speaking of flipping down, I do like the recent designs seem to be trying to incentivize flipping down. Yeah, or like Jessica Jones, in which you can flip down every turn. But I agree. It's one of my favorite parts of this game is flipping down. And any character that's incentivized to flip down and has the ability to flip down, shout out to Ready for a Fight, is usually one of my favorite characters. Deadpool gets destroyed by Sandman? Oh, because of indirect damage? Probably, yeah. Yeah, that might be bad. Okay, so we're just going to use our mental resource on our alter ego to create... We're going to invent some web shooters. So these are web shooters. I mean, we just want to use this resource sooner than later. So now we can spend this to generate wilds. We'll flip up to our hero mode, which says when the villain initiates an attack. And let's just get an attack initiated against us. So we're going to play Taunt. We know we're not going to take damage on this, so I don't think we have to shovel yet. We, in theory, could shovel first, but I'm feeling pretty confident with the backflip. So the villain's going to attack us. So it's going to attack for 3 and a card. And when the villain attacks us, we can draw a card with that. So we drew a Spider Tracer. Might not be relevant here. So the villain is attacking for 3 and a card. We're not going to defend. So 3. 4, 5 on our eviction notice. So that would be 5 damage. But we are just going to backflip out of the way of that financial problem. And we're not going to take any damage. Cool. Taunt resolves. We draw 3 more cards. So we draw Ready for Fight. Nice. We have a wild generator. We have another web shooter. We can spam both of those. And we have another Taunt. Shame we threw out the disarming defense here. Not the disarming defense, the cheap defense card, the desperate defense, but that was the worst card in our hand, I think, unless we wanted to use the web shooter. Okay, so we might take a bit of damage here. I think that's okay. Because like this hand is efficient. We can like play this, use that to play Prof X, float 1. But like we could also draw 3 more cards or 4 more cards here. The issue is we don't have a defense event. There's a small chance we draw a defense event when we play our Taunt and we get attacked, which means we can grab cards back. But yeah, the desperate defense would put us at 5 defenses where we want to be. It also exhausts us, and exhausting us is probably not good because we need a shovel this turn. So I think we probably don't play this Taunt. We could hold on to it to next turn. But if we kept the desperate defense and used this instead, which might have been correct, but probably result oriented because drawing the second Taunt was not super likely, we would have happy defend for 5 and probably take no damage. Hell of a build-up hand. I mean, we could have kept going, but unfortunately we didn't draw a defense event. I mean, I'm going to shuffle the deck, but if we played Taunt, we would have drawn into this. That would have been perfect. That would have been exactly what we needed. And we actually could have like top decked the play there. I think there's only 3 defense events in our deck. 1 more backflip, 2 desperate defenses. That's it. But it would have been good. Do you play check first and have him take some damage? Oh yeah, we can. You're right. We can. Because then... Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Because when Sandman attacks, as long as the damage is not assigned to you, then we can play Prof X first, confuse Sandman. Sandman can attack us. We'll defend 3 of it. So the worst case scenario is like a 3 boost means we'll take 1 damage. I mean, that's acceptable. Yeah, Fortune favors a bold for sure. That was pretty wild. Friend of must depart as I'm spending the weekend with friends. Good luck. Have fun. You got this. Don't mess with the spectaculars. Vitamin Donovan. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for dropping in, huh? Okay, yeah, interesting. So I think we'll do the Prof X line. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for the professor. We'll go for the confuse. In theory, we don't have to activate with Professor X. We could just leave Professor X unexhausted. So if things go really bad, we could assign 3 damage to Prof X, but I don't think we should. That leaves us with this hand. So I'm just going to do Web Shooter and play Taunt and hope for the best. Wait, but then we're not shoveling. Not shoveling is really bad here. This is probably not the play. Because not shoveling is awful. We need to shovel every turn because you can only shovel once a turn. And if we exhaust to defend here, we can't shovel unless we draw into one of our allies. In terms of the allies we can play here, there's only one true 2-attack ally. There's 2 2-attack allies, but one of them we can't even play. So I don't think we can legally taunt here. I think we just have to continue to set up. Yeah, bummer. Yeah, so I don't think we can. So I think we'll just use this taunt to play this web shooter for the ready for fight. And then we're in a pretty good spot to jump down to get more hands. Yeah, it's just we have to shovel this, so we'll exhaust for 2. And Prof will clear. All right, that's it. We were ready for fight. So we can, I think we spent this resource. We can jump down easily. Boo and shoveling? I mean, we have to shovel. Okay, so results oriented, we would have drawn 4 cards. Let's see if we would have got an ally. No, nah. We would have been in a really bad spot. 5th card, Rogue. That's what we need to shovel. So it's Rogue. She's good. But she's the best we have at shoveling consistently. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think if we don't shovel once a turn, we're going to fall far behind. And there's a bunch of minions that scale with this, so we can't let it be a problem for us. Prof X not allowed to use his mind to shovel. I mean, it's really hard to move every piece of sand. Like one big sand, okay. Million small sands, can he do it? The villain is attacking for 3 and a card. We get a free card draw. It's a swinging web kick. We do want to send every swinging web kick we can draw into. This might be a bit early, but we have 2 resource generators. Here we probably have to defend, otherwise the sand happens. We don't want to defend straight with Prof X, but the good thing is any extra damage will leak onto Prof X and we won't have to do the text on Sandman. So we'll defend for 3. That means we can't shovel, but Rogue will. So 3. No boost. Okay. Nice. Okay. 1 encounter card. Never say 1 encounter card. We didn't draw a single expert card last scenario, so we get punished now. Common Criminal, this gets Surge. We have a bunch of ways to jump into Alter Ego, which we do want to. The really fun design. We spend a physical, which these web shooters are hero resources, so we need a physical in our hand. We can get rid of this and remove threat or draw cards. Has Surge. Advance, that gets canceled. So the Confuse is dealt with, but we have a Ready for a Fight. And then our last card is Panic in the Streets. This seems like a bomb scare card, is it? No, it's a City and Chaos card. So 5 Shroud. Wow, 5 Threat. Treat the printed text box of each location support and each persona support as for blank. We're good. We don't got none. We're fine. And we clear Prof X. Shouldn't you get the 1 web shooter back? I think not. I think we had this in our hand and Taunt. We used Taunt to play the web shooter. We used the web shooter to play this. I might be wrong though. Maybe we're meant to have 1 more resource, but I think we had 3 cards in hand. So 1 played this, this played that. I think we did it wrong. I think we did okay. You absolutely have to shovel, but I'm not against your decision. I'm against Sandman for ruining the fun. At this point, I want a craft space teacher that says only 1 encounter card. Only 1 encounter card. Oh, man. Hey, Andre, I hope you're doing well. Do you know what the next Velma's Diner is coming out? I've been really enjoying your Arkham content. Hey, Samuel, thank you so much for the kind words. I've been sick all week. So I was meant to stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We canceled all the streams. This is the first time I'm streaming, and it's probably not good for my voice. So if my voice is really good, we'll do a Velma's Diner stream tomorrow. If not, we'll be back on Wednesday. So we'll just miss a week. But like I have to take care of myself. But we're on the finale, so I was like really like, you know, itching to get back to it. Unfortunately, this was not the day to do it. But I appreciate the kind words, and I'm really excited to get back because the finale is pretty good. You spent 1 on web shooter to play the second Taunt, then didn't play the Taunt. Oh, you're right. We spent this for the Taunt. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that sounds right. So we'll get 1 more resource back. Thank you, Sniper. Okay, so Common Criminal. If we spend a physical, we deal 3 damage to this in Alter Ego, and we can remove 3 from a side scheme, which is the best way for us to clear this, because we're pretty bad at clearing that in general. We have a bunch of setup cards, which are important. So that sucks. Good thing about the common criminal is that it can't scheme. So even if you just jump down to alter ego, you can ignore it. And we can jump down to alter ego to ignore it with ready for a fight. So that's not that bad. Let alone Sandman only schemes for 1, and we've seen 1 advance so far. So we're in a pretty good spot of just jumping down. I think the most important thing here to play is Rogue, so she can keep digging, and then we can just like set up everything else. I want to play Unflappable. I want to play this, but I don't think we'll be able to. We get 1 resource when we jump into alter ego, so we should be in a good spot. So let's start here. We'll do 1, 2. Rogue, 3, 4. So we have Rogue. She can always get her stats, not you. She can get her stats higher by doing damage to us or another character we have. But I think she probably is going to just thwart, and we'll clear this next turn with the common criminal. We had a physical though, so let's just do this in case we want to deal with the common criminal. Excuse me. Otherwise, I think we just set up our hand. So Rogue will just shovel for 2. She doesn't take consequential. Again, it just exhausts the character. We'll jump down to alter ego, and alter ego would generate 1 for this, and then we'll pay 1 for Unflappable. So we've set up pretty well, and not taking damage is key here. So Armored Vest gives us +1 defense. Unflappable is if we defend and don't take damage. We'll let this stay. We'll let this stay. We'll pass. We could even let Sandman scheme here, but we'll see if our hand has any thwarting. Usually it doesn't, so we might have to just jump up and take an attack, which we're excited about anyways. We lose a resource on Peter Parker's text, but we do draw a card from being attacked. Queen carry. Hope you and your SO get better. Thank you. That's very kind. Genius. She's doing a lot better. She was a lot worse than me, but sooner on. Does Rogue get your stats if you use her action while in alter ego? I don't think so. So Rogue says, deal 1 damage to another friendly character until the end of the round. Gain the character's traits and adds the character's printed thwart and attack. No, we have no printed thwart and attack. If like you can deal 1 damage to yourself in alter ego, but there's no stats to gain because your stats are attached to your hero side, so it doesn't work. Black Cat is here. Nice. Swinging Web Kick, our 6th card is a Nick Fury, so that's a pretty dense hand. Pretty good cards though. This goes to 3. Now Sandman is going to scheme for 1 in a card. So worst case scenario, this is but then the common criminal attacks us. I mean, that's fine. So Sandman can scheme here for 4, bringing this to 7. The problem is this hand doesn't threat that well, and we have a desperate defense and an unflappable. So I think we are just going to crack the ready for a fight. We have to remember our deck is 2 ready for a fight, so we don't have to be super defensive about this or like conservative. So we're just going to jump up. We're going to get attacked. So Sandman's now attacking us for 3 in a card. We have 4 defense. When the attack is initiated, we already draw a card. So we have an advanced Spider Sense. That's nice to hold here. So I think the card we don't play is probably Swing Web Kick. I think we're still setting up, which sucks, but we have problems on the table. So I think we're going to do... I mean, there's 2 big minions in the deck, and we're going to be drawing in a counter card, so we could hold on to this. So I think we'll just do a Web Shooter and do Desperate Defense. So we're defending here for 6. Sandman's attacking for 3 plus 3. So Assault. We don't take any damage. So we ready ourselves, and we draw with Unflappable. We draw. Wow, 2 doubles for Nick is pretty perfect. The common criminal will hit us, and we're not going to do much about it. We just take 1 damage, barely an inconvenience, and we'll continue on. You can use Rogue's ability and flip down. She gains the stats. Oh yeah, you can use it on a hero and then jump down because Rogue doesn't do a check. Just at the 1 time that she fires, she grabs your stats. So if you use her and then jump down, it should be fine. But if you're jump down, she can't interact with you. She can take damage, but that's it, or deal damage, right? I see what you mean. Yeah, she can use her stats because she does it until in the round she gains those traits. So it should be fine from my understanding. All right, this is a, what's it called? An obligation, so we can't cancel it. So when you're in hero form, increase the resource cost of each event you play by 1. Okay, Web Kick now costs a lot. And as an alter ego, I can discard an identity specific card to get rid of this. I really love the Down to Earth set. It's so fun. It like is thematically like very simple and straightforward, touching too, and it makes you want to jump down to alter ego to do heroic stuff in alter ego, which is good fun. Now that means our events cost more, but that should be fine. It's back to us. I think we always start with Nick. See what happens. Nick is a good thing for Sandman to do some extra damage to, which is okay. So Nick will come in. We're going to choose to draw cards. Ideally, we find another ready for a fight. 1, 2, 3. Spider Tingle is nice in theory. The thing with Spider Tingle is when the attached minion is defeated for common criminal. Oh, excuse me, Spider Tingle. Spider Tracer. A common criminal, if you deal its thing, I think it says, oh, it does defeat it. Oh, that actually works. Oh, that's good. Nick is in play. So if we want to Spider Tracer it, It says remove 3 threat from his scheme, which means Nick Fury plus Common Criminal can knock it out. So that's kind of cool. We have a physical. We could just jump down to Alter Ego and clear this and just say scheme on us. We don't care, Sandman. And on 1, we don't really need to clean this. We can just continue going. So pretty good turn, I'd say. Defensive conditioning is good. Bring us to 5 defense is great. 4 defense means we will take damage on a 2 boost or higher. This means we only get blown out on a 3 boost. So that's probably worth playing. Black Cat is not incredible here. I guess we could know how many more like cards that she hits are in her deck. The big one we don't care about is the Genius, but the Genius isn't here. So I don't know how many more mentals we have left. I hope they do more sets like Down to Earth in the future. It's like such a good set. Man, it's such a good set. I do think a lot of the like basic sets that get reused across campaigns have been pretty good. Like it's not the most exciting, but the Dystopian Future set, is that what it's called? Dystopian Future? No, Dystopian something. It's also like a really good set that encourages you to go down to Alter Ego. Rogue is good at harassing Nick Fury. He doesn't need that second hit point. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she can grab his stats, and he has really good stats to grab because his extra health is not super necessary. Well, with Sandman's, it's okay, but she can go to 4. Okay, so let's plan this. We want to discard this to friends and family. We might have the cards to play the Quinn carrier, but we might not. Say that we play this for free with the web shooter. I think it's on 1. Okay, we want to play Hard to Ignore for 1, Defense Conditioning for 2. I mean, that seems perfect, right? Dystopian Nightmare. Yeah, Dystopian Nightmare is just also like it's not as cool, but it's like, it's a good set. It's like, makes you answer questions. I like when the game asks questions of you. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We're going to use our last web shooter off of this one to attach a Spider Tracer to the Common Criminal. Nice. Now this is a force interrupt. It doesn't care who defeats it and doesn't care which mode we're in. So we are tracing the Common Criminal, which is like the best outcome. We'll just play Hard to Ignore and not do anything cute with Black Cat, which could be wrong. I think Black Cat shoveling 1 a turn is probably good enough. But if we defend and take no damage, we will remove a threat. This is still in our hand. Oh, we have 1 more resource when we jump down. I forgot about that. So we might not have to use the web shooter. Yeah, we might not have to use the web shooter this turn because I forgot we have an extra resource. So maybe that actually encourages us to play Black Cat here. Because as long as Black Cat gets 1 mental, we're in a good spot. So let me redo a bunch of this turn. So we spent nothing. I think this is where we are. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we had 6 cards. Yeah, I think this is right. Yeah, I think this is right. But yeah, when we jump down to Alter Ego, which we will, we have 1 more resource. So we should be able to play Black Cat and hope for the best. So we'll play her for 1, 2. And we just need to hit 1 hit off of this for us to be happy. So after she comes play, it's forced, which is good fun. We have to discard 2. We're looking for 1 mental resource off of this. Whiff. Whiff. Bad. We didn't consider the mentals in our deck when we did our deck building, but that's unfortunate because now we can't do everything. I think we just don't discard friends and family this turn. Okay, bummer. So we probably do... We'll use our last web shooter to put a little... Oh, we need to spend a physical. Oh, we goofed it. What do we pay for her? 2 mentals. Oh, wow. We need to defeat this with a physical resource. Okay. And it's an alter ego, so we can't use the tracer on it. Ugly. Okay. So we have 1 more resource on Spider-Man. Yeah, not great. I think we messed it up. Hard to Ignore is more important than defensive conditioning right away. So we'll hold on to this. We can discard this. We can play defensive. Yeah, we'll be okay, but we need to get 1 more mental off of that for a bunch of reasons. So how do we knock out the Common Criminal? I think we throw the Hard to Ignore at it. And we lose some thwarting for this deck cycle, but this deck cycle is almost over, so we should be okay. You can use the Tracer in A. You can. Definitely can. That's important, but we need to get rid of it by spending a physical in Alter Ego, and we don't have a physical in Alter Ego unless we spend 1 of these 2 cards, which are good cards. Hey, happy Friday, Scott. Just to say you are a bad influence. I've been playing Doctor Strange this week, and have you been having fun? Like, you don't have to listen to the anti-Doctor Strange crowd. Doctor Strange is a lot of fun. Okay, so sorry, we have to refocus up. So we want to do 2 to this, because then this will clear it. So then Rogue can take, we'll do Rogue first. So we could be attacking it to the face, but we're just going to stabilize. So Rogue will do 1 damage to Nick and steal his stats and traits, and then she will thwart for 4. cleaning this off. Okay, good. Nick Fury will attack for 2 or thwart 2 into that. Oh, we still can activate. Okay, doesn't really matter. We could have done more damage, but we'll just attack Sandman for 2. So Sandman will take 2. We will hop down to Alter Ego. In Alter Ego, we'll do the text on the common criminal, and we'll spend a physical resource, which will get rid of the hard to ignore, might be a mistake. And we're going to do 3 damage to this. If this minion is defeated, he can either draw 1 card or remove 3 threat from a scheme. Oh, I guess we can draw a card off of this. Right. I forgot we don't need the 3 threat. So we'll defeat it. It was defeated, so the Spider Tracer goes off. When the Spider Tracer goes off, we can remove 3 threat from this. Okay. Good enough. Not perfect, kind of a mess. But that means we actually can play this, which is better. So we'll generate 1 resource from ourselves. We'll throw out Brother Voodoo, and we'll play the defensive conditioning. Yeah, I realized that thing could have removed 6 threat, but that's fine. So we'll get 3 more hit points, and we'll go up to 5 defense. And then we'll discard this to friends and family. So ultimately, a pretty good turn. So we'll get rid of this. The problem is like Nick Fury is not blocking. And then Black Cat, I guess we can do this before we have to jump down. So, excuse me, I forgot. But we'll exhaust her to shovel. That just has to be a hero action. So we were meant to do that before we jump down. We'll pass. Okay, good. Felt dirty and like a god at the same time as fun. He's fun. He's genuinely very fun. I don't get the hate. I get the hate. I just think he's fun. Yeah, he's really fun. Okay, we'll draw 6. Taunt, nice. A swing web kick. I think that's the last one. Ready for fight. Moon Girl and Alter Ego's amazing. Jocasta, and our last card is an enhanced spider sense. Problem with this card is it can only fire in hero mode, so it's useless down here. Yeah, Nick can't jump, which is not perfect. Imagine we drew a ready for fight off that card draw, but I mean, this is okay. This will go into, like, Nick doesn't want to jump against Sandman anyways because of Sandman's text, so it's not that big of a loss. We have 2 cards left out, so we will deck out this round. So Sandman schemes for 1, 2, 3, goes to 4. Yep, 1 encounter card. The sand clone. So I'm glad that we dealt with the sand because this thing has no attack. But when you defeat it, we have to do the surging sand. So 3 attack is, or 3 health is a bit much, but it only attacks for 1, which is good. So we lose Nick. This means that Rogue will be able to knock this out. We didn't have any healing in our deck for Rogue, which I could see us wanting to spend some healing and just make Rogue a permanent kind of like part of our game plan. Rogue is really good. Okay, Alter Ego. I mean, we're going to deck out a couple times here. We can't use the web shooter, so we can generate 1 mental, 2 mental. The 3rd mental could be Jocasta and swing web kick. In theory, we should play Jocasta first because she can grab a backflip, and we want the backflip immediately because the backflip is really good because it's both backflips are in here. Yeah, we discarded 1, unfortunately. Good old Black Cat, and then there's another one. So the timing of how we play this hand is actually kind of important. If we play Jocasta first, we could do like, I mean, I don't think we can fire Jocasta. I think we have to just get lucky because I think we have to play Moon Girl first and then just play Taunt. And our basic activation on 5 defense is not doing anything. So I think we just start with Moon Girl and see what happens. So I think we'll throw Jocasta into the bin because it's not likely her text will matter because we're going to deck out unless there's a defense event in here, which there is not. It's Aunt May and webbed up. So we'll play Moon Girl. We're going to generate 1 mental with our Alter Ego. We're going to discard a 2nd mental, and the 3rd mental will be the enhanced spider sense. So we spend 3, we draw 3. So we draw these 2, we deck out, and we draw another card. So far, we've milled frighteningly few cards off the top of the deck. So we've been dealing with the sand really, really well. All right, so Black Cat and Moon Girl can deal with Sand Clone. We have a bit of thwarting to do, but Rogue can thwart Hapless Pedestrian. She can even steal 1 damage from Black Cat, which means she thwarts at 3. But we're going to taunt here and draw like 4 more cards, so we should be fine. I've always had a hard time with allies leaving play quickly. It just feels wrong. Been trying a Spectrum leadership deck that doesn't want to keep the allies around, trying to get used to the idea. I mean, that's why the 2-cost allies like with 2 or health are so good because you just get the upfront like win play ability. You get to do their thing and then they leave. I mean, it's so good. Like, that's the problem with this game is allies are so absurdly good. Sandman makes them worse, but it's just like, it's good text. Like, imagine they all just said, do ability, get toughness. Like, yeah, allies are really, really strong. Our 3rd card is a web kick. Okay. So we need to play those sooner than later. We might be able to do a web kick this turn. All right, we've done everything we want to do in Alter Ego. We'll flip up. So no defense cards in our hand. So we're going to have to exhaust to defend, but we will. So we're not going to play the webbed up. So we're going to go ahead and just play Taunt to start. So Taunt says the villain attacks you, we'll draw a card. Desperate Defense. Do we play that? Are we going to need to activate again this round? It's not very likely. We could shovel for 2. That's like the floor. But we play the Desperate Defense. We're spending 2 resources just to get a ready. I wouldn't spend 2 resources for a ready. At 5 defense, we're already in a really good spot. So we will exhaust to defend. We're going to be drawing 4 more cards here. So maybe the Desperate Defense is worth it because if we draw another Taunt, there's only 2 more in the deck. Like we want to be ready, but we could also draw into a backflip, I guess. So we'll be okay. So Sandman's attacking for 3 in a card, hoping for not 3 boost. We can always assign 1 damage to Rogue, I guess. Not really. It's a 1 boost, running interference, the titular card. So we take no damage. So that means we can do our stuff. So Unflappable draws a card, and then Taunt draws 3 more. So we drew a Webbed Up, Disarming Defense, Brother Voodoo, and a Powerful Punch. Okay, so Powerful Punch deals with the Sand Clone, which is good. So we don't have to deal with the Sand Clone. So we're okay just to hit the table. I mean, like, we don't want to hold on to this. Maybe we should have. Maybe we should have just spent the resources. All our ally slots are full, which is a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward. We can knock out Moon Girl immediately. I think that might be okay. Then we do Rogue into Moon Girl to attack for 4. Moon Girl thwarts for 2, and then we unlock the ally slot for Brother Voodoo, and then we probably just play like a pair of swinging web kicks. Yeah, I could see that being good. All right. Rogue's text. She'll steal some health from Moon Girl, and then she'll attack for 4 into the clone. And then Moon Girl will just thwart for 2. She is defeated. Okay, Brother Voodoo will play for 1, 2, 3. Doesn't really matter which ones. I don't think we care. Actually, we should hold the physical just in case. So we'll play the Desperate Defense instead. Brother will search the top 5 for an event. Not going to be incredible. Jocasta Proft, another Taunt. Yeah, is incredible, actually. I think we'll just take this out because I don't think we really want to Taunt again this turn. But if we were ready, we'd grab the next Taunt and go. Maybe we should have played around that. Yeah, I think we're just going to try and send 16 damage to Sandman. I think we might be a resource short. Okay. No, we can do it. No, we can't. We're a resource short. So we'll do 1. We don't seem to need Aunt May. 3 for swinging web kick. So we'll just start to do the damage to the villain. The villain takes 8, which is good. The villain will always take 1 more from Black Cat. She just does 1. Brother Voodoo could thwart for 2. And then here, I think we're not going to keep the web shooter and we'll just play ready for a fight. We could have held on to a card there, but none of the cards are amazing. We still have 2 backflips in our deck. Now we won't get thwarted on, which we can jump down. But we're in a pretty good spot. No reason to shovel. Oh no, we have to shovel. Sand Clone. Excuse me. When the Sand Clone gets knocked out, we have to shovel. So we got rid of Sandstorm, which means Black Cat doing 1 damage doesn't really matter because we're probably going to do another web kick. There's only 1 more in the deck. So I think we're actually going to use Black Cat to shuffle instead. And we'll just use Brother Voodoo. We could keep Brother Voodoo around, honestly. That might be reasonable because having extra health means we won't take damage if there's a 1 boost. So we won't use Brother Voodoo. We could thwart 2 here, but we've seen 1 advance and we have a ready for a fight. So we're not scared about the threat and we'll pass. This is going to be the 2 encounter card turn. So we could be in a bad spot, but we seem good. We want to keep the readies. So like a Desperate Defense would have been okay here, but we'll draw something. There's a Taunt. There's the backflip. Sick. Another Desperate Defense. So we can take a bunch of attacks and that is our 5 cards. My combo deck is Spider-Man Protection with Stretch 22 made for Heroic Nebula. I've used it for Expert Run and my current score is 3-0. Every time I play it, I now will win. I've been really enjoying Stretch 22's content. Stretch 22 plays on Heroic and plays like no nonsense decks, which are very fun. It's the sort of gameplay that I like. I think I should be playing slightly more Heroic. All right, this goes to 3. Sandman's attacking for 3 and a card. We will draw our card for free. It's another Desperate Defense. So like the Taunt lines up really well here. I think we'll just take the first one with the backflip and not care. So we won't defend. We have an Unflappable, but it will trigger anyways. So 3, 4, 1 boost on media coverage. I remember this card being so terrifying. So this says when revealed, the abilities happen an additional time. And it's any when revealed ability. So on a minion, on a side scheme, on a treachery, that's so terrifying. And you have to get rid of this as a mental, which is easy for us, but in an alter ego, which is a bit scarier. We'll just play backflip so we don't take 4 damage and we don't have to do the city streets. Backflip just says don't. And then we Unflappable draw a card because we took no damage while defending. We drew a web kick, the last one. So that'll knock at Sandman. 2 encounter cards. First one is, all right, it's here. And we drew it in the worst order. So when revealed will happen again. There's nothing in our hand that cancels a when revealed. So like an attack here would be really funny. How do we do it? It's an assault. So the villain's going to attack us twice, which is just the funniest. Luckily, we're able to deal with it. But yeah, media coverage into assault was like the bad thing for sure. I think this hand can deal with it, which is good fun. So first attack, Sandman is going to attack us twice in a row. First time now for 3 and a card. We do draw a card because of our hero attacks. We drew another backflip. We're just going to take it. We're just going to take it. 3, 4, 5, 6 off a Rhino, the biggest attack, but backflip just says we don't care. And now we get attacked again. So 3 and a card. We draw a card for a hero attacks one more time. We get a taunt, which, I mean, I think we can play every single taunt in our hand. So we're just going to get rid of the powerful punch, and we're going to play desperate defense. Amazing. Desperate defense. So in theory, we can leak a bit of damage here, but we should be okay. So we're going to defend for 7. If we take no damage, we ready. So 3, 4, 5, 6. We take no damage. We draw nothing. That's it. What a good combination of cards for Spider-Man just not to care about. And that's like the big thing why the hero can like really scale well into things like Ronin. Like if the big thing is getting attacked, we get tempo and getting attacked. So even if you get attacked multiple times in the same encounter phase, that's usually lethal for a lot of heroes. Spider-Man just says like, I'm good. Okay. The one thing we can decide with this hand is whether we want to play the hard to ignore first. The hard to ignore first means we can get 1 threat down, which like maybe. I don't think we really need to. If anything, we can play on the second one. So I'm going to use the web shooter resource just because I don't want to spend these cards because they're all very good for this turn. And we'll play the first taunt. All right. The villain's going to attack us for a 4th time in a row. We draw a card with our ability and Sandman's attacking for 3 and a card. So we'll defend for 5. Here we actually don't need to take no damage. Oh no, we do because we have to ready ourselves. So we're going to throw the spider sense in for a desperate defense. So you've seen this line before. We are defending now for 7. We take no damage. We're ready. Boost. Reveal this card. Uh-oh. Sandform. So when you deal any amount of damage to Sandman, discard it instead and resolve the Surging Sands. So Black Cat can deal with that. That's fine. We take no damage. So we ready with Desperate Defense. The rest of Taunt fires. We draw 3 more cards. 1. Useless. Fine. Good. Okay. I mean, we're going to keep doing it, right? So we'll spend the useless card on Taunt. One more time. Sandman attacks us for 3 and a card. We draw a card. It's a Quinn Carrier. We'll defend for 5. I think we just defend for 5 here. There's nothing we really care about. So Sandman attacks for 3 and a card. No boost. We take no damage. Taunt draws 3. We 1, 2, 3. We just drew our extra encounter card for decking out. We have 4 cards left. I mean, Taunt is absurd. If we drew another Taunt, we probably wouldn't play it. We probably wouldn't. Okay, our allies are full, which is an issue. So we can always use Rogue to touch us and then steal our stats. We ideally want to jump down to Alter Ego and spend the mental. So like playing Prof X is probably good enough. So we might hold on to Nick Fury, as weird as that is. We have to do a swinging web kick here to advance Sandman. I think we'll start with that, but we have to remember the Sandform text. So we'll just use Black Cat. She'll just come in for 1 damage. Sandform kicks in. So Sandform says no, discard this, resolve the Surging Sands ability. So Surging Sand just puts 1 counter here. We rip 1 card from the top of the deck. We lost the Sand Clone. That suits us well. Has 0 boost on it. Okay. So now we can web kick. So I think we will. I don't think we have to set up the Quinn Carrier. I think our hand is actually pretty expensive. It's going to cost us 8 resources. Yeah, so I don't think we can. We'll do 1, 2, 3. Good enough for a web kick. And we're going to deal 8 damage to Sandman. Oh, actually, this could be bad. I'm pretty sure when he flips Sandman over, he has Win Reveal text. And media coverage is going to get us twice on that. I don't think there's a way for us to deal with that, but media coverage is like such strong text that I can't believe we haven't seen this in a long time. Since like this came out in the first year of the game. It has Win Revealed text. I mean, that's not good. At least we get to see this. So Win Revealed happens twice. So place 1 sound counters in city streets, resolve a Surging Sands. So we do that once. So we mill 2. We do it again. We mill 3. 1, 2, 3. Now this text is slightly different. We get rid of the shadows of the past, which is good. So when Sandman attacks you, the attack now gains overkill instead of indirect. So we have to block more accurately. Still has the same stats of 3 attack, 1 scheme. And then you resolve if you take any amount of damage. So no surprise. But yeah, that's funny that that fires on the villain as well. Really cool text on this thing. We can always jump down and get rid of it, which I think we have to. So now we want to play Prof X. I think we have 1 more resource in our hand. So we'll do 1, 2, No, we'll just get rid of everything. Hard to ignore is a bit too late. So, okay, hold on. First, we have to use Rogue. So we'll use Rogue. She'll just do damage. So she'll deal 1 damage to us. She'll steal our stats, and then she'll attack for 4 into Sandman. So Sandman's knocked out. Or sorry, wow, she's knocked out. Sandman goes down to 15. Then we'll spend 1, 2, 3 on the Professor. When Professor X enters play, we confuse Sandman. Prof X will thwart. The attacks now have overkill, so chump blocking with Prof X is not incredibly important. I think we'll hold on to Nick for a huge turn next turn. Brother Voodoo is not doing anything. I guess Brother Voodoo will shovel. Cool. And then we'll jump down. Luckily, media coverage lines up really well with Peter Parker. We'll just spend the energy or the mental to get rid of this, which is good. We'll hold on to Nick, I think. Sandman versus a defense-heavy deck is a competitive, completely different villain. Never seen so few sand counters. This is what I'm used to. Like, people say the sand counters get out of hand, but like, the sand counters get out of hand if, you know, you don't defend and don't take damage. But this is what I most usually play, so Sandman does line up like this. I definitely should try something more like leadership or chump blocky or aggression and just say the counters don't matter. But we probably won't deck out. 2, ready for fight. Web shooter. We are going to deck out here, though. Oh, genius. We draw 2 resources, get an encounter card, and we have to shuffle, and we are owed 1 more card. Again, if we draw in advance, we can always jump up. We'll probably let the first threat. Oh, confused. We're fine. In theory, not firing this is a bit bad because we lose 2 card draw with Unflappable and Peter. So we could always just fire the ready for a fight for the fun of it. It probably is correct, actually. Yeah, it's probably correct just to jump up regardless. Because all we're losing is our Peter Parker 1 resource. But we gain 2 card draw by jumping up. Let alone we don't have threat to deal with. I worry when I see 2 resources together. It's because I played a Nick Fury and I didn't shuffle well. So I probably have to do a slightly better job shuffling when we deck out. Final card. Powerful Punch. I mean, we could just play that. It brings Sandman down to 11, which means 12, 10, 9, 8. We could, in theory, get a lethal this turn if we drew a web kick. So it's probably worth going for. So we put 1 threat here. Sandman here would scheme but get confused, but we're instead going to fire ready for fight. Oh, can we actually? Okay, so ready for fight is interrupt when the enemy would scheme. I don't think you're ready for fight to confuse, right? It's an interrupt that says would scheme, but interrupts happen after statuses. It goes like static abilities, then status counters, then interrupts. So I'm pretty sure we cannot force Sandman to attack us, right? I would love a confirmation in chat if anyone knows more confidently, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, the order is always like static abilities. So something that says like, you can't do this. Yeah, confused does take priority. Exactly. Cheddar, how's it going? So I don't think it'll go off. Yeah. So we can't, because this status goes before this text could go. So the activation was just canceled. Now we could get an advance here, which we'd be happy about. Yeah. Yeah. Replaces the activation. So let's see what we get. And clone. Okay. We can technically ignore this. It doesn't have guard, but it comes in with 3 health. It's only attacking for 2. Does not have guard, surprisingly. And then now or never, which is a City and Chaos card. So peril, so can't help me. Either place an acceleration token on the main scheme, which works with this text, which is good, or exhaust a character you control and spend a resource of any type. I'm going to exhaust Professor X, and I'm going to use our alter ego to generate a resource. Cool. Nailed it. Prof X gets discarded. I find me and Avenge Me and 2-cost allies surviving with shuffle together. I find that with Avenge Me and the 2-cost. What do you mean, Scott? Nice to see some good old Protection Spider-Man. Kudos for selecting thematic villains too. Yeah, we're playing only Web Warrior villains, which has been really fun today. Okay, so lethal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. If we draw a web kick, that is extra 8, so we're on 12. Yeah. Nick Fury can be 3 more, but we need to draw with Nick Fury, so not enough. We can have lethal next turn with Powerful Punch, so yeah, we should be in a good spot. We have nothing to do in alter ego because we've already used our Peter Parker ability. We'll hop up to hero mode. Oh, actually, that's not true, because in theory, we could draw into Moon Girl. Now, these cards are not worth holding on to, so we could start with the Powerful Punch and the Ready for Fight and keep the Genius in case we draw Moon Girl, but we'll spend this 4 on Nick Fury, because we could still draw Moon Girl down here. So we're going to try and play into that if we can. So we spend 4 for Nick. We'll draw 3. Moon Girl 1 time, hard to ignore. Moon Girl 1 time, Spider Tracer, not bad. Moon Girl 1 time, backflip, no. And no taunt either. So we're going to be short the damage that we're looking for this turn, so we should just like deal with the board. We can make Sandclone have no attack, which is kind of good fun, by just like shoveling. So we'll probably just shovel. All right, we'll flip up. I watched Spider Noir short recently, and now I want another Web Warrior wave so badly. How is that? That's the Nick Cage one, right? It looks good. I don't know if I have Prime. I don't think I do, so I need to figure out how to watch it. I think it's Amazon. I don't think it's HBO. But like Nick Cage is an interesting actor. All right, we're up here. Holding on to backflip is like okay. Not super important. I think we just want to send all the damage we have. I already miss our rogue was so good. That was a really good decision to add rogue. Shout out to the rogue suggestion in chat. So we can just use this hand as best as we can. This double is awkward. It doesn't do anything. We'll spend 1-2 on a web shooter. I mean, did we gain resources? No. But we got to do something. We'll just shovel for 2, so the sand clone doesn't do anything, I guess. Nick will attack for 2. We probably could just take the damage and just go straight to face. We're gonna use, I mean, I guess we're gonna use Brother Voodoo for 1. Just to get there. Black Cat, she'll attack for 1, not taking a consequential. It leaves us with this really awkward hand, so we're just gonna play hard to ignore and pass. So if we don't take damage with the backflip, we won't. We'll draw a card and clear 1 threat, we'll pass. Okay, so unfortunately Nick Fury could have blocked the Sand Clone, which would have been fine. So we could have just done 2 more damage to Sandman and ignored the thing. Okay, Web Kick, that's what we wanted. We should have lethal this turn. Disarming Desperate Defense and Jocasta. That's good enough. I think we have lethal. So this goes to 2. Sandman attacks us for 3 and a card. We draw a card because of a hero text. So we get a 6th card. It's a Enhanced Spider Sense. Haven't played one of these yet. I'm assuming it'll be worth it. We're just going to take it to the face. So 3. 4-5 on exhaustion. Glad to not see that. We'll just do a little backflip there and say the damage doesn't matter. So we take no damage, which means we get to draw a card with Unflappable and remove a threat with Hard to Ignore. Taunt. Sand Clone attacks us for 0. So that's totally acceptable. We draw 1 encounter card. If it's a treachery, we can cancel it. It's a Sand Smash. So we can cancel this. Let's see what it says. Sandman attacks you with +1 attack. I mean, this keeps happening. The turns that we have the Enhanced Spider Sense are the turns where we're getting attacked again. And getting attacked again is good because we draw a card. I mean, I think we just ignore this and just instead of spending 2, we spend 1. Right? I don't care. So we're getting attacked for 4 and a card. We'll play Desperate Defense. We're exhausted for 7. So we draw a card because we're attacked. Technically, we can see the card first before we commit cards. So we'll do... That doesn't really matter. We'll still do this. So we're getting attacked for 4. 5-6. We take no damage. Desperate Defense just says we ready ourselves. Okay, good enough. Late but hello. Hey, Metapher, hopefully you're doing all right. I heard some of the news. I feel really bad. Everyone's wishing you the best, huh? Hopefully you're doing okay, huh? Excuse me, was reference to your double resources being together, time passed and became a nonsense comment. Oh, with Avenge Me and the 2 cost allies, those get together. Yeah, that's another one you want to separate, right? I struggle watching Nick Cage. Community episode keeps coming back to me. Is he a good actor or a bad actor? I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. He's like really good in certain roles, but he's also like usually playing Nick Cage. The thing is like Nick Cage, the character, is like way more nuanced than a lot of people who play just themselves in acting. I don't know. I think Moonstruck he's in. I think that's like my parents' favorite film. I don't think I've seen that in a long time, but he's played more reserved roles for sure. This is a long story that I don't know if we'll have time to explain, but my sister's cat met Nick Cage. It's a story and a half. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but my sister's cat has met Nick Cage, which is good fun. All right, Nick is discarded. I don't think even Nick Cage himself knows the answer to that question. He's a very, very interesting dude. Okay, so we have lethal on the table. We can attack for 2, 3, 4 plus swing web kick. That's easily lethal. But why would we do the simple thing when we can do the ridiculous thing? So let's do the weird thing. Let's just pitch Jocasta. No, Jocasta could be damaged. We'll do webbed up into Taunt and see what happens. So we're getting attacked. Sandman's attacking for 3 and a card. We will not defend. We have no reason to defend because we've already fired all of these. So we draw a card. It's a disarming defense. I mean, I don't think we're going to defend here. I think we just want as many resources. If Sandman attacks us, all that happens is we put sand counters, which are not relevant. So we're attacked for 3 and a card. 4. We take 4 damage. If we take damage, we have to do city the thing. So we put 1 counter and mill 1. Okay. And then Taunt fires, we draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we drew 2 swinging web kicks. That's enough. We could have kept going and taunted one more time. I mean, when in Rome, when in Rome. We could not get knocked out here, I don't think. But I guess we'll do one more taunt. The thing that will actually catch us off guard is we draw a boost card that says like this protects damage, which there are a couple in the deck. So we'll do taunt again. Sandman attacks us. I guess we shouldn't spend this card. We'll spend this card. So we draw a card. We get attacked one more time. It's an Aunt May. I mean, we haven't used her yet, but she's not bad. So then we'll just go ahead and take it to the face again, I think. Sandman attacks for 3 in a card. 4. One more time. We take 4. Down to 3. We have to mill 2. I'm realizing if we have to mill and take 3 indirect damage is a bit ugly, but we get rid of an advance and Tombstone himself. We draw 3 cards. I was going to say, can we do 3 swinging web kicks? And I think the answer is maybe. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 for a web kick. Good. We'll do 1, 2, 3 for a web kick. We're 1 resource short of the last web kick. There's no way we can get the last web kick. We're 1 resource short. Bummer. That's it. Yeah, we needed another double. But yeah, that's going to be 16 damage to the face. There was no more doubles in the deck, so there's no way to do it. But yeah, we were 1 resource short of the perfect 24 damage triple swing web kick turn, which like almost got there. But unfortunately, yeah, just short. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is not enough. I mean, we'll do what we can. We'll do 16 to the villain. Black Cat will do 1. Brother Voodoo will do 1. And we could do 2, but of course, we're going to shovel. Lethal, got him. Yeah, tell the cat story. I don't think I can. I'd have to ask my partner, but maybe you can remind me on another day. That's it. Sandman was not bad at all. Again, Sandman's mostly going to challenge you on whether you can block or not, which protection decks are well suited to do, that's for sure. But we got through it. Man, Protective Spider-Man's really good. Like, we need to count how many free card draw we got off of this ability. Like, getting free card draw is quietly one of the best things you can get in this game. I think at this point in the game, we've deck cycled maybe 3 times. I think we ended up drawing like an extra 6 or 7 cards. That's just like very, very, very good. And our deck is much better at doing the thing it wants to do, which is not playing any of those like very cute cards. Powerful Punch hasn't mattered, and I think I'm just not willing to, in a Taunt deck, spend 3 resources to do 4 damage. So I think maybe we could cut those and play just more defensive ends in general. But otherwise, like, things are flying. I think we can cut the 2 powerful punches. I think the Rogue was such a good inclusion. I like the Rogue a heck of a lot. We could play the healing card for Rogue, but I'd be surprised if that hits the table with any sort of priority. But I think playing more defensive ends is actually pretty good. I could see that working out. Thanks, homie. Just been chilling. Yeah, hopefully you're doing okay, huh? Spider-Sense continues to be one of the absolute best hero abilities in the game. Peter the Goat. I mean, I'm glad that Spider-Man is relevant in like 2026, because like, what a character. What a character that you'd want to be relevant. I think we just add 2 not todays and call it a day. Call it a today. And this has Web Warriors on it, right? I think we'll just add 2 of these. And just say like the minions, we've been okay. We've been okay with the minions. An Indomitable also would make sense. I think Indomitable is not bad. Let's do 1 Indomitable just to like have it, and then we'll do 1 not today. Needs a sleeve. I barely play Indomitable. People swear by this card. A lot of times the 1 cost ready is compared to Indomitable, and I don't know why I haven't played it yet. Like, that's one of the issues with these 1 cost defense events, is that they're only good if you draw them in a hand where you're defending. Like, if you draw them on turn 1, they're useless. And so the upside in Indomitable is it's an operation. It's an upgrade. It's non-unique. You can just put them on the table, thin your deck, and use them when you need them, which is really good. I just don't know why I've never got to it. I've like played Indomitable once or twice. Threat management is really his one weakness. Not today makes sense. I think not today makes a lot of sense. I do think his only other weakness is his minions. Like, we're not good at defeating minions. Luckily, allies can. What doesn't kill me is really good if you don't got an untap. I don't, Mataver, but I'm not convinced. Like, our basic activation is just to attack. Our health is usually pretty full. Don't look at that. We took 8 damage for fun. But I'm not 100% sure. How high can we get your defense stat after Fear No Evil? I can't wait to play Spidey and Nightcrawler to stop hitting yourself. Your comparison is always going to be against Gambit, whose defense stat is like infinite. But they added so many more ways to get +1 defend in the upcoming kit. Like, there's so many ways to get your defense stat up with the Ronin stuff, the temporary card. Like, you can get your defense stat up to like 6, 7, no problem. And then probably even higher from there. Like, with events, you can go up 9, 11. I find it very weird. Technically, like increasing your defense stat at some point plateaus, but now they've added cards that say like just deal damage equal to your defense stat, remove threat equal to your defense stat. So there is an incentive to always just keep increasing your defense stat. I'm interested to see how that plays out because that doesn't seem super healthy, but there is like at some point it won't matter. Like increasing your defense stat from 7 to 8 is not worth the 1 resource, probably. Let's just take this apart and we're off onto Mysterio, who is probably going to be the hardest person we face off against today. I'm assuming. The big thing with Mysterio is you want things that can do 1 damage. Oh, just to be clear, we did mill an extra 3 cards. Otherwise, we would have just decked out. We had 5 more cards in this deck than we usually play with, and we would have just decked out. We took some extra damage on that last turn for no reason, but we would have got there regardless. So I'm just going to take out the card. We'll just sort it. This card is sick, man. What a cool card. Media coverage is awesome. City and Chaos is in here as well. Oh yeah, there was more encounter sets. I forgot about that. One moment, please. I am feeling it. So next game will probably be our last game because I need to rest my voice. This is not super sustainable. And I want to come back for Sunday because we're going to play a whole campaign on Sunday. Hopefully y'all have been well. Down to Earth. Oh my God, Andre. City and Chaos, down to Earth. Cool. I think we nailed it. So Sandman, this should be 7 cards. Oh, I didn't realize down to Earth was that big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's 7. I thought it was 5. Okay. This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. This should be 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So we're going to be facing off against Electro. Electro and Mysterio are teaming up against our nemesis and whatever imaginations, things we're scared of. So we're going to be playing against Mysterio. If you're not familiar with Mysterio, Mysterio shuffles cards into your deck, which is pretty terrifying, especially if Deja Vu shows up because there's no way of getting rid of it. There's a couple of these minions that have 1 health and you need to do perfect damage to them. So luckily some of our 1 attack minions or allies will deal with that. It looks like we know that we're going to be adding Power Drain. I'm pretty sure I have art for all of these. So Power Drain is 1 minion. 3 treacheries, 1 side scheme, so pretty standard. Electro's going to care about I think our energy resources, but it could be wrong. And then we're always going to use Down to Earth because it's just like a really fun encounter set. So this one just has the ones that care about jumping down to Alter Ego with common criminals. So the deck is going to be big, but we should be off. Army of 1 Quicksilver is always ready. We also, saw a bunch of like cheap ready cards. I guess Army for 1 is one of the cheap ready cards that we saw. So it's going to be good. Do we start with Venom? I think Venom is only for campaign mode, so I don't think we have to start with Venom. We do start with one of these, and we're off. So Maze of Mirrors. There are 2 of these. This is like Surge. There's so much Surge in this. It's very Hood-like. So we'll see if we get lucky or not. So we're going to be playing with this. We're playing Standard Expert. We're adding Down to Earth and whatever Power Surge is. We have to play with Whispers of Paranoia. And we have to play with Personal Nightmares. And we're going to choose to play with Whispers of Paranoia. So the deck is really big. I mean, like, I'm not going to fix that. We just added an extra like 12 cards to the deck. So, okay. Just so the deck is not absurd, we're going to cut Down to Earth from the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we're still going to add Electro to this. Otherwise, the deck gets way too big. Because again, there's Whispers and Personal Nightmare. And those are very fun thematic sets. So we will choose to play with those. Villain name Mysterio. Oops, I think I did that wrong. Okay, we'll shuffle this. Otherwise, we have to put Shifting Apparitions into play. This is a very cool card. I do believe we're going to be seeing the perfect damage archetype show up, and this is the perfect damage archetype. It does have a guard, and if this minion was defeated with any amount of excess damage, the defeating player shuffles the top card of the counter deck into their deck. That sucks. We're going to see the backs are different, of course, but when you draw them, they just do their text, and you don't replace them. So that's pretty bad. That's it. We have to deal 1 damage to this, which is not super easy. We need an ally for that, largely. You could play, what's it called? You could play Energy Barrier. That does do a lot of work against these things. Maze of Mirrors, first main scheme of 2, comes in with 2 threat, gets 1 return. And it says, when you withdraw or discard an encounter card from your deck, deal it to yourself and replace it. Oh yeah, so right, this is slightly different than Mystique. Now the villain's text is very easy to forget, but you shouldn't. When revealed in player order, shuffle the top card of the counter deck into each player's deck. Now this will impact the mulligan, because you reveal the villain before you mulligan, so we have to do that text. 17 health, And after you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation, place that card into the bottom of your deck if it has on the bottom of your deck if it has the illusion trait. So the illusion trait shows up on a lot of Mysterio's cards and a couple of the either Whispers or Personal Nightmare cards. So diluting the deck does make things easier. So that's another good reason to keep the deck svelte. I know you're going to cook an amazing Quicksilver Ronin deck. I'm really looking forward to that stream. Me too. Thank you. Yeah, it seems exactly like the kind of stuff we want to do. Hulk was the first one I thought of when I saw the Ronin card. Why? Which Ronin card? The one that allows you to thwart? Because yes, I agree with that. Hulk does want allies though, unfortunately, because Hulk can't do a lot of things. We're going to be playing Hulk on Sunday. All right, so when revealed in player order, shuffle the top card in the counter deck. So we'll find out what that is together. That should be it. I guess we should pile shuffle this first, and then we should be off. Let me just reset our stats. And that should be good to go. I think people find Mysterio to be quite difficult. I do think Mysterio is quite difficult. I also find Mysterio to be difficult, but Mysterio has a fair bit of variance in it. Where like, oh my god, Heroic Mysterio is probably a nightmare. Yeah, we're going to play Hulk, not Protection. I promise you not Protection on Sunday. Cut both away in Riposte or Wild and Spider-Man? Oh, I could see Cut Both Ways being good because it's for the whole phase. So if you ever do the taunt stuff, the damage on this gets better and better. It's also a 0 cost defense card, so you technically have defended as much as that's not super important. I like this card not because I think Retaliate 1 is good for a 0 cost event, but more so it's one of these 0 cost you have technically defended cards, right? Like Defiance. These sort of cards end up in so many of my decks that want to defend without defending. And that technically is good, right? In my top 10 hardest. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a fair bit of variance. So we'll put this in. We have to now do a good old 1, 2, 3. Eyes closed. We'll do cut, and then we'll mulligan. So we draw 6. Let's go. Again, we want to find our Moon Girl. It's worth playing around. And we get a free mental on our starting. Backflip. Okay, it's obviously not great. Ideally, we get a taunt, and then this is worth keeping. Okay, that's perfect to set up our top deck of Moon Girl easily. Desperate Defense. Okay, this is not worth keeping, because if this is worth keeping, the backflip is worth keeping, and backflip is usually just better. Okay, that's perfect. If we draw a second taunt, we can do it again. So this is 4. Unfortunately, getting attacked by Mysterio a lot is bad, because then you're more likely to shuffle in cards or put them on the bottom of your deck. So like you have to watch out. Mysterio actually does have text, even if you take no damage. Okay, that's ugly. What can we draw here? Like Nick or Moon Girl? Ooh, Jocasta's not bad. So what we could do is we could always like play the backflip and the double for Jocasta. Then Jocasta gets backflip. Then we can jump up and actually use Jocasta's text. She also attacks for 1, which is perfect for the apparition. The only issue is this double, but we're going to draw 4 more cards, so it's likely to line up. So I'm not going to hedge around drawing the third taunt or the second taunt. But at the end of the day, if we draw the second taunt, we can just defend ourselves. So this is a really good start. I actually like that a lot. It's really cool when you play a defense event to play Jocasta to get the defensive back, because then she's a 2-cost card. Man, Jocasta shows up in so many defense decks. You probably know why. Consistency for solo is so important, and she just has good numbers. I actually like her to thwart, to consequential. Okay, that's useless. This is eventually going to be good, because it actually can cancel Deja Vu. So this is when a treasure card is revealed, and Deja Vu says, when revealed, shuffle it into your deck. So we are one of the few characters that can break a Deja Vu loop, which is good. Flow Like Water Rise Up fans, I have played so little Flow Like Water. All right, we're going to keep, I guess the energy doesn't matter. We'll do energy and backflip into Joe. And then Jocasta will equip the backflip because it is in our discard pile when she hits the table. So she can play it as if it were in her hand, and we can take no damage. Oh, actually, that sucks because we're not using our mental here, our free mental. So I guess we're going to use Peter Parker's free mental and enhanced, and then we'll use Jocasta because we have to flip up the play taunt. So that's a bit more efficient. As much as we don't draw into 2-cost cards, we're going to lose value from this, but we'll do it. We'll flip up. Okay. So in hero mode, this has guard, but it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to say, oh yeah, this does suck. No matter what, we're going to lose a resource on this. Okay. Yeah, we're going to lose a resource no matter what. All right, imagine we did this instead. But now we have to do this. This emotionally feels better, but we have to lose a resource regardless. So we're going to play Taunt with Enhanced Spider Sense. That's it. So the villain's going to attack us. Mysterio's attacking for 2 in a card. Again, our hero text is when an attack is initiated. So we immediately draw a card. Profex is okay. And Mysterio's going to be attacking us for 2 in a card. We're not going to defend. 1, 2. Not an illusion card. Have to keep mind in that. Some of the cards that seem like they'd be illusions are not. So it's no boost. So it's only 2 damage. I think we just take 2 damage and keep the backflip because we draw another taunt. It's 2 damage. That's the cool thing about backflip is you can see the attack and like 2 damage is not worth canceling. So we'll just take 2. And then the rest of taunt fires. We draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we can't get attacked again because we literally can't. So we want to set up this hand. We'll do probably Prof X plus a card. And I think we'll just set up the vest and not play Ontme. So 1, 2, 3 for Prof, 1 for Armored Vest. So we'll start with the vest. We'll put it underneath our spider suit. We get +1 defense. We'll play Prof X using the double and that. So I'm glad that we found something that at least costs more than 2. So Prof X will confuse. I think Mysterio has some really interesting cards. Like there's a +3 attack upgrade. I think there's a couple cards that says Mysterio schemes, but I might be making them up entirely. We have a chump block, so we can keep the backflip. Prof X will just thwart for 3. Jocasta will attack. So she'll attack for 1, knocking out the shifting apparition, which is perfect that we have perfect damage. So we don't do extra damage. We don't have to shuffle in our deck, and we'll just simply attack for 2 into the villain. We'll pass. Haven't seen a web kick yet. We're in a really good start. Maybe use backflip, defend the taunt, and then play Jocasta to tuck it. Oh, that was another angle. Was that better, actually? No matter what, there was no way for us to use the alter ego. Because our opening hand was this, and none of these cards were playable in alter ego, so I think we're in an awkward spot no matter what. But I think it's nice to play Jocasta. But we could have double backflipped. We got lucky though. That was a low attack, so I don't feel bad about it. But yeah, that was not a line he considered, which is like backflip, then replay Jocasta. I think we got lucky that we had a hand that was fully playable, but that honestly was worth considering. I did not. So good shout out. Rogue, she's here. We want to play her. Enhanced Spider Sense, we can do a cancel. We haven't played one of these yet, but it does cancel when revealed, which could matter against like Deja Vu. Black Cat, she's worth getting on the table. She also just eats the apparitions. Not today. Probably not going to play that. There's not any threat on the main scheme just yet, and a webbed up for some cancels. Really weird how that card works in solo. So we just put 1 here. There's no text. Mysterio is going to activate against us, so attacking for 2 in a card. We immediately draw a card. It's Nick. Oh, that complicates things. So I don't think we defend. If it's a big boost, we backflip. I think it's that simple. But this is just in a 2 attack, which could be 2 damage, could be 5 damage. If it's 4 damage, we'll cancel. If it's 3, we'll probably still cancel it. But the villain's going to attack for 2 in a card. No block. 1, 2. 3, 4. I mean, good to see that thing go. So that's 4 damage. We will backflip this. So we're going to play the backflip, which opens up Jocasta so we can thwart for 2 if we see a side scheme. Backflip just says no. Oh, we could have blocked with Prof. We always block with Prof there. Sorry, that's we 100% block with Prof there. It's been a while in Sandman that we didn't block with allies, but of course we always block with Prof there. We still get our card draw. Excuse me. There we go. Delusion of Collusion. Oh, mind you, that was an exhaustion. Didn't have the illusion trait on it. So what's this one do? I think this one hurts our allies. So attach your identity. You cannot ready allies or persona support you control. So that's just Ontme, I think. Alter ego action. Discard an ally or persona support you control to discard this card. Eee. Ugh, okay. That sucks. We need to get this backflip off Jocasta. We can jump down to alter ego, no problem, but yeah, the only other thing that we can deal with is we could play Nick Fury, drop down and discard Nick Fury. Because it can be an exhausted. And if we're jumping down, Nick Fury doesn't matter. Interesting. Okay. So they cannot ready, but they come into play ready. So Rogue is okay. Nick Fury is pretty good. These cards are useless. So we probably just do Nick Fury. And I think if we're playing Nick Fury, we're probably not also playing Rogue because we've seen 2 doubles. So I think we'll start with Nick and see what happens here. So we'll draw 3. 1. Nice. 2. Good reason to jump down. 3 web kick. Okay. So now we're being asked questions. The question is, do you web kick for 8 damage here? If you jump down and play Moon Girl, we can generate a mental on ourselves. We can generate this mental, and then we can unfortunately play the Unflappable to play Moon Girl, and she will draw 3 more cards. That means we can play Black Cat, but our ally slots are full. That's okay. We lose the Nick Fury block, which maybe we just keep the Nick Fury block here, and then that's it. I could see that being fine, but we want to jump down to get rid of this delusion, but it's only good if we use an ally and we actually want the ally to be ready. So I could see a world in which we like just play Black Cat. Black Cat will draw 2 cards. We won't use Black Cat. And then we'll play Unflappable with what she draws. We have 2 more web kicks, so we're not too scared. But like against Mysterio, you don't want to go for the long game because Mysterio shuffles more cards into your deck, and the longer the game goes, the worst. I think when you advance Mysterio, it's also bad. I think you add a bunch of cards to your deck. So I think we'll start with Black Cat. It could be right just to jump down, but I want to block with Nick first. We'll jump down next turn. So after you play Black Cat, discard the top 2. It's not a mental. It's not a mental. So we lost all our doubles, but at least we didn't draw Spider Tracer. So we're not going to activate with her because it's not worth it. We can activate with Nick, but then Nick can't block, so we won't. So I think we're just going to chill here. Jocasta gets thwart for 1. I don't think that's great. We'll attack for 2. We didn't draw any cards, so man, that fell apart. I need to check how much of our deck is mentals because we've been struggling with Black Cat, I'll be honest. But yeah, we're just going to pass, so that was not a good turn. We can jump down and play Unflappable with our alter ego text, but I don't think we do. We could use Jocasta to attack for 1. I mean, that's probably fine, but I'd rather be able to deal with a side scheme when and if it shows up. So we'll just pass. Sleepy turn. Kind of ugly. We'll hold on to this, though. Really good with Taunt. Web Shooter's nice. Desperate Defense. Okay. So we wouldn't have discarded a mental for a while. It's a Spider Tracer, and we have a Brother Voodoo. Okay. Does anyone else find Mysterio a bit annoying to play against? I feel like that's so much shuffling. I mean, that's the point. I think it's meant to be annoying. It's meant to like make you not trust the things that you trust, which is your deck. I like the design a lot. I just think Deja Vu is brutal when you play solo because you can't make any decisions. This card's way more fun when you can make decisions. And it stays with you forever. All right, this goes to 2. Mysterio is attacking for 2 in a card. We'll put Nick Fury in the way. 1, 2. 2 boosts, side scheme. 3, 4. Oh, this deck is in upside down. I don't think I messed it up. Did I shuffle some of these cards in upside down? No, the whole deck is upside down. That's good. So Nick is knocked. We draw 1 encounter card. Deepest Fear. So we saw one of these. I don't remember what it does. Mind you, that boost card was not an illusion, so we don't have to do his text. Peril. Discard cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your hand. So we have 5. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If at least 1 identity-specific card was discarded this way, place 1 throughout the main scheme. If no identity-specific cards were discarded, take 1 damage. I mean, that's a lot of text to do 1 damage, huh? That's it? That's all this does? Discard cards on the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your hand. Yeah, if at least 1 identity-specific card was discarded this way, place 1 threat on the main scheme. That's that much text about 1 threat? All right. We lost a Taunt and a Web Shooters. Losing the Hard to Ignore is also not great. Okay. I mean, good for you, I guess. Lately, when I'm game, I'm teaching as I play. So when I go back to a villain, if there are annoying rules, they get tossed for an easier villain. Oh yeah, I would not teach this villain for sure. But I do think it's a really cool 3rd villain in a box, which is usually the slump of the box. I need a citation on that. Yeah, I guess it mills your deck, but I'm not really like, I don't think milling your deck is actually that bad. Okay, so we're ready. This hand is clumsy. Losing a Taunt sucks because we would be happy to be attacked with backflip. So we can always start with a Web Shooters. Web Shooters can play Brother Voodoo. We're not going to deck out. I can't flick through the deck because I can see where the card is. I should be careful. This is probably worth playing. It's a hero resource, so if we're going to play it now, we have to use it now. So I think we're just going to commit to this. So it has 3 resources on it. Okay. We need to discard an ally we control, so that sucks. So yeah, man, actually that really does suck to discard an ally. I wonder if we just discard a Brother Voodoo. I think we do. Oh, I don't like this actually. I want to play them Flappable really bad. I don't think we play the Web Shooter. Right? Because I think we have to do this. If this draws a card, so be it, I guess. But I don't see a way for us to play the Unflappable with our alter ego and play the Web Shooter and Brother Voodoo. OG Loki, yeah, I don't like OG Loki. OG Loki is a slog. It doesn't feel that tricksy. It just feels like a marathon. Yeah, OG Loki can take forever. I don't like that one. I don't like Thanos for what it's worth too, because it's like the same thing. Like Thanos is not asking interesting questions. The only interesting thing is the deck, and it just says, how long can you do this for? And my answer is, it takes too long. Thank you. But yeah, I don't like Loki or Thanos. I think I just do Voodoo. If it whiffs, it's okay. We just want an ally to discard here, and we can't afford to discard Black Cat or Jocasta. So we look at the top 5 for an event. It's a backflip. We can choose to add it. Oh, we have to add. So I'm not going to search. Sorry. I realized it was not may add. You have to add. Yeah, the thing is you don't have to fire the response. Yeah, so I'm going to choose not to. Because I don't want to draw a card here, because it's just going to discard a good card. I think all the events we have in our deck are backflip and the other thing. I need to close my eyes, cut. Okay. All right, Brother Voodoo will thwart for 2. Okay. We will attack for 2 into the villain. We don't really need to recover here. We will jump down to Alter Ego. We'll deal with the illusion of collusion by just discarding Brother Voodoo. So now our allies can do their thing. We will generate an Alter Ego, or sorry, Alter Ego resource to play Unflappable, and then we can actually use these allies. So Black Cat will attack for 1 to the villain. Not taking consequential, she doesn't. Jocasta probably should attack for 1, because she'll get defeated by thwarting for 1 anyways, so she'll attack for 1 to the villain. Okay. That's it, we'll pass. We're ready, draw 6. 1, 2. Okay, we definitely need a resource generator because we haven't played any. Defensive conditioning is good. 2 web kicks in the same hand sucks. We drew our Dominable and our backflip. So if we don't draw a taunt, this backflip hand is awful. We have no more taunts. I gotta stop looking at my deck. But we know we're gonna draw to that card next turn for sure. So I'll do there. All right, that's it. This goes to, excuse me, goes to 2. Mysterio is confused. 1 encounter card. Assault, gets search. Ooh, I don't know what this does. Electromagnetic Pulse. Discards 7 cards from the counter deck. That's probably what's going to be bad with Sandman. If Electro was discarded this way, put him to play engage with you. If Electro was not discarded this way, this card gains surge. Sick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seeing in advance is good. Caught off guard. A lot of standard cards. 2 assaults are out. Whoa, was that a good discard for us? So Shadows, Advance Assault, Master Plan, Gang Up. I mean, I feel good about that. Search. Shifting Apparition. Okay, we can deal with those. So this has guard, 1 health. You want to defeat it with perfect damage. I mean, it's really cool to draw an encounter card and not know what it does. So that would have been so much worse than Sandman. I think we got lucky because Electro and Sandman would have been a disaster, and Mysterio with Tombstone would have been a disaster because all the win reveals will happen again. Maria Announced Enchantress, fantastic design, never gets boring. Oh god, Enchantress is so cool. I need to play more Loki 2. I only played Loki 2 once. I think it's not great for solo, but I should definitely play on an expert. As per the official rules, you are not only allowed, but encouraged to look at your deck and to say Mysterio cards. Wait, really? I didn't know you were allowed to do that. I didn't think you're allowed to display your deck. Where in the rules does it say you can do that? That's kind of cool. Okay, so this is our hand. We could hold onto a backflip. This hand looks like it could play, what's it called? Quinn Carrier. We might just want to do a swinging web kick into Mysterio. The thing is, when Mysterio hits Mysterio 3, I think it's really bad to have a thin deck because you have to discard the top 5 cards of each player's deck. So actually, that's not that bad. Maze of Mirrors, the text on it says that's when you would draw or discard. So no matter what, we're getting 2 encounter cards when we deck out, even if we do this or not. It says after you resolve a boost card, now it goes onto the top of your deck, so you're likely to draw it immediately. So that's in a weird spot. In theory, if you deck out and then Mysterio puts a card on the bottom of your deck, that's the safest you are. But yeah, weird. Need to roll Loki, replay the Loki villain? Yeah, I've only done it once. I don't know if you're talking about yourself or me, but I've only done it once on standard, and it was like, okay. I think we learned that you could cheese it. Oh, it says in the rulebook? Okay. And the yeah, this rulebook had text to be like, if they're not the same backs, it doesn't matter. Okay, what are we doing here? Jocasta wants the backflip. So we don't want to knock out Jocasta, which means she misses the deck cycle, which feels bad. So this backflip has unfortunately wilted. Black Cat will always just attack for 1 to the apparition, doing perfect damage, not taking consequential. Okay. I think we probably just do defensive conditioning is kind of necessary because Mysterio can attack for 5. So we could play defensive conditioning here. Yeah. And then we could just play Quinn Carrier. We could just do a web kick. I mean, I think we've been pretty good with the resources that the resource generators we don't have. We get attack for 2. I think we have to attack for 2 and then web kick. It's a bit frightening, but at least we'll have access to a backflip going to the next round. We've seen 2 assaults go, so it's probably not that scary. I mean, let's try it. We'll use our alter ego to generate, and we'll play with the backflip of defensive conditioning. So this gives us, conditioning. This gives us 3 health, and we're up on 5 defense. So we're up on 11 of 13. So we're not going to recover. Yeah, that's it. We'll jump up. We'll just attack for 2 with our hero. And then we're just going to spend 1, 2, 3 for swinging web kick. There is a world in which we just set up, and instead of swinging web kick, we like play the Quinn carrier, play Indomitable. That's probably reasonable, but I'm just going to send it, see what happens. Like, we're doing pretty well. So deal 8 damage to the enemy. Mysterio gets knocked out. Mysterio 3. Discard the top 5 cards of each player's deck. So 1, 2. When this gets discarded, we draw a card, actually. So I don't know how discard 5 cards works. I think it happens all simultaneously. So we discard these 4, but when this card is discarded, it's dealt to us. In theory, when we discard it, we can see what it is. So we're going to draw whatever this is. Probably not good. We'll learn about, we'll worry about that. But this says, when you would draw or discard an encounter card from your deck, deal yourself as a face-down counter card, draw a card. So I think here we're owed a card. We did just deck out. So I think we still draw 1 card here, which means we probably could have done that in a better order. Yeah, Mysterio notably has less health, I think, when you advance him, which is weird. It's usually not that case. Usually they get stronger, but I do like the idea that once you get closer to defeating Mysterio, Mysterio gets weaker when you realize Mysterio is an illusion. I think that's cool, but I think this is the only villain that actually loses health when you advance, which is a nice touch. Because Mysterio 2 had 18 health, right? Like, it actually does get smaller. Yeah, 17 health to 18 health. I think that's sick. We owed our 1 card. We discard these 3, mind you. They go back into our deck, so we should shuffle these in. Is it ready for a fight? The last taunt. Okay. Yeah, it does work thematically. It's weird to think of a villain that gets weaker. I do feel like Ultron 3 is weaker than Ultron 2, though, in terms of its text, but not in terms of its stats. The 1 card we draw, there's no playable card here. It's a desperate defense. Okay, so we are probably only going to get attacked once. We have a backflip. I don't think we hold on to the desperate defense. We'll pass. We won't do anything with Jocasta. Draw 5. 1. Taunt. Nice. Swinging web kick. So now the desperate defense would have been good. 2 swinging web kicks, which means if we can afford it with the taunt, we can win this turn. Prof. And no double webbed up. Very expensive hand. Okay, this goes to 3. The villain is going to attack us for 2 and a card. We have Unflappable, so not taking damage is worth something. We do draw a card here. It's the 3rd swinging web kick. I mean, I hate that so much. Okay, so attacking for 2. After you resolve a boost card during Mysterio's activation, place that card on top of your deck if it has the illusion trait. So no matter what, that's going to happen. And if we play Taunt, we draw into it, which will only matter if there's another turn. So 2 and a card. I don't think we defend here. I think worst case, we play the backflip if it's bad. Otherwise, we'll probably just play the backflip anyways. So 1, 2. This is not an illusion, but this is Deja Vu, which is like my least favorite card in this. But luckily, it's going to go into the bin because it's not an illusion. Oh no, reveal this card. Oh god, never mind. So we have to reveal this. So choose to either take 1 damage or place 1 turn on the main scheme, shuffle Deja Vu into any player's deck. So we have to shuffle this into our deck, which there's no way of getting rid of this besides canceling the 1 revealed. So we have to decide either to take 1 damage or 1 threat. I think we'll just take the damage. So that's 2 damage coming in. I think we still just backflip this. It's 2 damage. It's not a great backflip, but Jocasta has just been like, again, wilting on the vine for a while. Been schooled by Ultron 3 too many times to talk smack. Man, Heroic Ultron was a lot of fun. I think we played that with Miles off camera. All right, we'll backflip just to be able to play Jocasta. So we don't take damage. That means Unflappable fires. So we draw 1 more card. It's, unfortunately, we drew that too late, but we actually could have canceled this. It's only really worth canceling the next time it shows up, but 3 encounter cards means that this will probably line up with something. First card, Manipulated Mind. This is the one that we knew was coming up. So when revealed, attach to the ally you control with the lowest cost. Oh no, Black Cat. Treat attach ally as a minion. Attached minion scheme is equal to printed thwart and does not take consequential damage. Okay, so we lost Black Cat. She has 2 attack. She's just going to keep attacking us for 1, which is not the worst. But it has to be the ally with the lowest cost. So yeah, Black Cat is now working against us. Which sucks because the Shifting Apparition just came in. At least Jocasta can deal with that. It has guard. We want to deal with 1 health. And finally, we have this card, which we were mentioning this a bit before. Humongous Hallucination is such a cool card. We've never seen... Oh, no, that's not true. We usually don't see +3 attack. Hero action, spend a resource of any type and shuffle the top 2 cards in the counter deck into your deck to discard this card. Otherwise, Mysterio is going to be hitting us for 5. A much better backflip. Okay, the question is, can we win? The answer to can we win is can we play 2 swinging web kicks? And unfortunately, this hand can't play 2 swinging web kicks on its own. So I think we have to always use Jocasta to knock out the apparition. It did perfect damage, so it doesn't get shuffled. And then all we have to do here is play 2 swinging web kicks. The issue is we're 1 resource short. So we just have to play Taunt and survive. If we play Taunt and survive, we're good. The issue is like Mysterio is going to attack us for 5 and a boost. That's not bad. So I think we can just let the hallucination go through. Yeah, you're right. This attachment does want the giant trait. It's funny that it doesn't gain the giant trait. It'd be really cool. It existed at that time. So I think we're just going to go ahead and play Taunt. And I don't think we care if we get attacked here. The worst case scenario is an apparition, but it does not come into play. It's the only thing with guard. So the villain attacks you. We draw a card. We drew Aunt May. And so now Mysterio is attacking us for 5. We could have got rid of this for a resource, but I don't think it's worth it. So we're doing attack for 5. We could defend here for 5. Not a big benefit to doing it. Oh, mind you, Taunt is still resolving. Not a huge benefit to doing that. I think we just take 5 to the face, right? What's the worst that could happen? No block. 5, 6, 7, and text. Okay. What is this? Electro from Power Drain? You don't have to see 2 boosts on an icon. So that's 3, 4, 5, 7 damage we take. And then it says discard 3 cards from the counter deck. Again, this should have been way more interesting than Sandman. We discard an apparition, we discard Masterful Mirage, and we discard Deja Vu. Good to discard that. This doesn't have an illusion, so that's it. Okay. Taunt draws 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's lethal. So there's no guard. We can do web kick for 16. I mean, the fact that Taunt gives you card draw, it's like, what's the best thing you could ask for in a deck that has 3 for 8s? It's card draw, because these are hard to play. I do think there's a chance that Depth Focus is worth it. Maybe it's not, but like making a swinging web kick cost 2 is a big difference. In theory, we could have drawn a bit more cards with Moon Girl, but if we jump down to Alter Ego, we can't play the 3rd web kick, which would have been so cool. If we drew 2 doubles, we would have been fine there. Not very likely, but 2 doubles means we would have been able to do, again, the mythical 24 damage triple swinging web kick. Mind you, we can knock out Black Cat for fun. I mean, that's it. I think this deck is proper good. I think Spider-Man is proper good. We forgot to track how much card draw we would get. We only decked out once, and we barely set up. Like, all we had is an Unflappable and like 1 or 2 allies. But yeah, just 16 is 16, right? Villain takes 16. Easy. Cool. I mean, Spider-Man still holds up. It's a shame that some of his cards are clunky. And I want to be clear when talking about things like the Spider Tracker, the Tracer? Tracer? Like, I kind of like that. I think it's really interesting that his Taunt or his Thwart is not attached to an event. I wish there were more characters like that. It's just like the kit needs to kind of support this card. So he needs to have a way to grab a minion or something like that, which we didn't see a lot of that back in the day. And that makes his kit a bit more confusing. And he's meant to be like a very learn to play character. That being said, this card is way better, the Tracer, when you play multiplayer, because there's more likely to be a minion on the table. Unfortunately, in solo, that's not always the case. Came in just for the time, the 1-2 Spidey kick. Yo, Zombie, how's it going? We did miss by 1 resource the 24 triple kick last game, but yeah, not too bad at all. All right. We've been streaming for about 3.5 hours. Again, I have been under the weather. My voice is a bit weird, and probably the stream was a mistake, but we're going to have more tea, and we're going to just keep drinking and hope for the best. We will, if things don't go terribly pear-shaped, be returning on Sunday, in which we're going to do a longer stream because we got the Sunday, and we're going to be trying to play through an entire campaign with Hulk. Not a good idea, but we will be doing it. We'll see how bad it is. I haven't tested the deck, but I built a deck that looks hyper-functional, so hopefully the Hulk cards don't literally drag us down. I want to say, if you appreciate content like this, if you want to take a second to leave a like on the stream, if you want to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all this sort of stuff, share this with a friend you might think would care about this content. That stuff is super, super appreciated. Is there a way to send you a gift? Don Claymore, that's very, very kind. I can't, as a content creator, like share my address. I can make a PO box if that's like an interesting thing. That's very, very kind to offer. I don't know what a PO box looks like, and it depends if it's a package or mail, but it's a bit expensive. But you can ping me about that if you're serious, but that's super appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for the stream, especially while under the weather. I'll be honest, again, these last days, we missed 3 streams, Marvel Champions, or not Marvel Champions, Arkham Horror and Netrunner, and it feels so bad. It doesn't feel good, because I'm always excited to stream, especially because I've been sick. I've just been alone at here. I can't really go out and do anything. So like just missing that sort of interaction has been a bit of a bummer. So yeah. Hopefully we'll be feeling perfect on Sunday. I think we're on track for that. Yeah, I think we're on track for that. Discord. Yeah, you can find me on Discord. I am AMAVRIC. Hold on. Hero name. I'm mind you, you can find the link always in the description to the people's Discord server. I'm in there. My name on Discord is the name I use in a lot of places. It's that, a Maurich, a Maverick. You can find me there. Here's folks. Metaffer, if you just shared the Discord link, it probably ate it. I'm not sure 100% what you posted. Hopefully you're all doing well. We'll be back on Sunday. I think that's mostly it. Hopefully we see some more Luke Cage stuff. I don't think we're going to see the next hero for like probably 2-3 weeks, because I'm assuming they're going to be out in September or October. I spent the morning in urgent care, so I feel you there. I'll watch the replay later. I hope you feel better. Zombie, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully things are turning around quickly. Otherwise, have a good weekend. We'll be back on Sunday morning. Take care of yourselves, y'all. We'll see you in a bit.